evening, everybody. It's Saturday night at 10 p.m. It is an APAT Championship weekend. Leigh, who have we got on the comfy sofa?
Well, we've teased that we were going to have two guests on tonight. One of which was spending the entire day at the cricket, drinking in the sunshine. So if we were going to put a bet on who wouldn't show tonight, it wouldn't have been Paul Haycock. But unfortunately, no sign of Dan at the moment. But we have got the one and only Paul Haycock. So welcome to the show, Paul. How are you?
But unfortunately, we've got Paul instead of Dan.
That's a bit disappointing. There's a bit disappointing that, Leigh. I think we can say that, can't we?
Yeah. I mean, we were hoping that we'd have our current reigning world champion, and we've got Paul instead. So,
to be honest, Paul, we're only disappointed that you've come back from the cricket. I would have thought a late night of drinking and debauchery and all of that good stuff.
I've got one.
Good man. That's what I'm talking about.
If anything, that feels like hair of the dog, because I started drinking so long ago and I've had such a big gap kind of in between.
I'm so jealous.
I had my first one at 10:30 this morning, so this this feels like round two, really.
Oh, I'm so jealous, Leigh. He's probably going to get the munchies around 11:30, isn't he? He's probably just going to get really hungry and all of that stuff. Oh.
Yeah, no, absolutely. What a great day's sport, actually. I talked to Paul about it yesterday and said, you're probably going to get a whole day of Aussie batting, which is what you got. But actually, you got a chunk of wickets, and it looked a good day's cricket to be watching in the sunshine.
Yeah, it was great. It was. It's 18 years since I last went to the Ashes at the same place at Edgbaston. So it was nice to get back there, and the atmosphere was great, and it was pretty exciting in the first session, and then sort of dipped away a little bit. But no, it was great. It went really quickly, and I enjoyed it a lot.
Proper day, and the weather, of course, spot on. Not too hot today, right? It's been really hot over the last few days, but it seems to just pull back a little bit today, which was nice.
We had a 5-minute rain delay right at the very beginning. It started at 11:05 instead of 11, and then after that, it was glorious. Yeah.
And you need a bit of rain now, right? We need a bit of rain when it's hot.
I could do with it now. I've caught the sun, as you might be able to see.
Well, I can see slight glow on the camera there, I have to say. So Leigh, it's a Scottish Online Championship weekend following on from last week's live escapade in Edinburgh. The guys are playing two events tonight. What are they? What's current status?
Well, we're going to jump straight in, Des, because it's all happening. There's absolute stack of regular players playing these comps. I'll run what's going on, but just so you're aware, the screen we've got up on at the moment, this is table Tom Brady, folks. This is table Tom Brady. Not GOAT. He's only got 5 bigs left.
5 bigs, Leigh. 5 bigs.
For a medal. He's going for a medal, and he's going to be in the big blind next hand. So we'll keep an eye on that. So whilst we're waiting for that to play round, this is the No Limit Hold'em freeze out. It's got 103 runners in this, so we're going to be paying top 17. Prize pool of just over $2,300. We're down to 36 at the moment, so we got to lose another half of the field, and we will be in the money. Mr. Haycock is in this. He's got 22 bigs at the moment.
Good shape.
Got his table ready to go as well. Let's see whether Tom's going to defend his big blind here. Gardu has
Tom.
Has made the
get
raid.
Him in.
Is Tom going to get them in?
He does get them in. Leigh.
Gardu is Mark Winsell. So it's Mark Winsell with Jack 10 against the Goats. The Goats ace, not the Goats ace king. The Goat is ahead. Needs to avoid a 9. And I've got to be careful saying these things because I called a card in last night for Paul, and I'm sure he'll mention that at some point on the show in the bounty event.
That 4-outer that I got rivered by PLO is that the one you're referring to?
That's the one I'm referring to. I have this knack of doing that. So double up for Mr. Brady. So all still very much in with shout there. So we've got the No Limit Hold'em freeze out, as I mentioned there. So that's 103 runners. The PLO freeze out has just closed off as well. 69 runners in that. We've got 49 remaining. It's going to pay the top 11 of that one. One Asa McGrath is currently chip leader.
Yes.
In that one. Yes. Let's give a little shout out to last night, because we had the 2 bounty comps last night, Des. Yeah. And I don't know whether you saw, we had a monumental moment.
Famous female sort of battle last night, right?
But it's the No Limit Hold'em one was won by a player called Charmot in the end, who picked up a whopping $565 Absolute superb performance. Second place, though, was Die Hard, which is Di Farrell. Now, that is Di's first ever APAT medal.
Oh, wow.
I was really
Di.
surprised at that. I'm surprised Di hasn't had an APAT medal before. I don't mean that as a...
No, I agree with you. I agree with you.
I kind of assumed we should have had loads.
Yeah, so absolutely
well done, Di.
There was loads of people in the rail on the rail yesterday when she got into the top 3, and then she managed to bust in 3rd place in the end. McShovins, which is Joe Chilmaid. So Joe had to settle for the bronze, and Di had a good. She was about 7-1 chip behind on chips in the heads up, and got it back to. She took the chip lead at one point.
Wow!
And he thought she's going to go on and take the gold here, but it wasn't to be. So she had to settle for silver. But very well done to her. Interestingly, Joe in 3rd picked up as much as Di did for 2nd, because Joe had an absolute crushing end of the tournament and picked up a load of bounties in that one. So very well done to both of them. Anyway, and in the PLO last night, bounty PLO, PLO Wiz ended up winning that. Well, kind of that was written in the stars, wasn't it? I mean, if you're going to call yourself PLO Wiz on GG Poker, then you should be winning the PLO bounty.
You know what you're doing.
And you do know what you're doing. Sardini 69 finished 2nd, and Ardentini finished in 3rd. So very well done to them. Mentions there for Joachim. He finished in 4th, and Sophie finished in 6th as well. Wow. Darren Coleman was in 5th. So loads on that final table. Now, if any of you made a final table last night and you've already registered for the APAT Top 10 leaderboard on the Facebook group, I've got a list of you all. You will be getting a $55 ticket added to your account as well next week.
Awesome.
Exactly the same situation for the 2 tournaments tonight. So
Fantastic.
if you do that, then you're in for a shout. So the PLO last night, I mean, Paul was very unlucky because, as I say, I did call in. I knew what was going to come on the river. I was
absolutely bocked him.
Absolutely bocked him. And so Paul bust on the bubble. So he bubbled the PLO last night. But obviously it's a bounty though, Des. So it's okay because he'll have picked up some bounties before then to make up for not.
No, he didn't. He didn't pick up any bounties.
No, he didn't get any bounties
Not
either.
Any bounties.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
That's when it becomes a skill game, you see, because that means that I made all night chips by grinding, not by just closing my eyes and getting them all in.
Oh, Paul, don't talk about grinding, please.
No, but he did. But Paul did get a min cash and I think a couple of bounties in the no limit hold'em.
I forgot about the added value for the final table. I might have stuck around a little bit longer.
Yeah, and you just missed out on that as well on both of them. Actually, he finished 12th in the no limit hold'em last night and finished 10th in the PLO. So just missed out on the
good
final
grouping.
table added value, but consistent.
Good grouping, Lee. Good grouping. Absolutely. A bit to the left, but good grouping.
Yeah. Oh, he's in a hand here. He's in a hand here. Let's have a quick look.
Hello.
He's made a shove.
Keep an eye on this one.
Oh, he's well committed here, Lee.
Oh, he's only got.
Oh my
quads.
word! Oh my
He's
word!
only got quads and has got paid.
Oh, he's not happy. He's not happy.
Oh,
opponent there says WTF.
Cry more, Crixus. Come on.
Yeah, and Crixus is Ian Barber. So
Ian, your queens looked good there, I have to say.
Yeah, very unlucky there. 6 on the turn, 6 on the river. Yeah.
Brutal.
Nice. I didn't know. How did the betting go before that, Paul? Did you?
I just defended, flatted all the way down and jammed river.
Okay, fair enough. So, it's as disguised as you're ever going to get.
Cannot argue with that. Leigh, the added value, if somebody finished on a final table yesterday but hadn't actually been aware of the added value, hadn't added their name to the list, if they do that today or tomorrow, do they still get it?
No.
So it closes at tournament start, does it?
Yeah, I've got to be fair to people. Is those that have put their names in and got them in advance, as we said. That's fair enough. But yeah, if you've missed out this time, then so be it. Hey, but one thing we will say with GG and the partnership with APAT is there will always be more added value. We're certainly going to keep it coming for you guys. So you've just got to be kind of aware of it's there. I've seen quite a few players actually playing the tournaments tonight who I know who they are because I recognize their names.
Yeah, that's
who
really good.
haven't actually registered up yet.
Oh, register, guys.
Yeah, we've already got how many are we up to now? 142 have registered for the top 10 leaderboard. Now, you're only going to register once, and then we've got
Yeah.
your details. If whatever you then choose to play, we'll include you in all the leaderboards. It's literally a one-off thing to do, guys.
Leigh, do an @everyone post, because that notifies everyone, and it will, you know, it will bring it to some people's attention who are maybe not aware, with a link to the username post. We got a bunch of people out there, Leigh. Saturday night, surprisingly, people playing poker. Asa, first in the thread. Evening all. Good evening to you, Asa.
I think we're gonna lose Tom here.
Oh.
Horrible. He's hit top pair, but he's up against Jack 10, same player that he was up against before. And yeah, that's going to be
Queen
Tom.
doesn't help us.
No, not going to be any good. And who did I say Gardu was? I can't remember. It is Mark Winsell. So nice hand there, Mark.
Any
idea
on Dr. Lucky?
Dr. Lucky is Craig McLucky.
That's a great name. It's a great name.
I mean, genuinely. I mean, what else were you expecting?
His chip lead, tournament chip leader is to my left, and his name's literally McLucky. What chance?
Well, that's a deed poll change. I'm sure of it.
He's actually a GP. Works quite hard for the NHS.
Fantastic. Good for him. Good for him.
I've no idea. I'm just assuming he is. Yeah.
Tony G is out there, Leigh. Evening all. Evening to you, Tony. Eddie's out there on YouTube. Hello, gentlemen's. Hello to you, Eddie. The Village Baker is out there still, you know, basking in the glory of his win some short few weeks ago. Rich, good evening to you. Joe's out there listening to your opening there, which mentioned her bronze, Leigh. Rich says, has Paul mentioned the rivered quads against me last night? Didn't mention that, Paul. I mean, you do rivet quads quite often, then.
That's
bloody
my
hell!
thing.
We've just seen him do that, Rich.
Everyone has to have a thing, and that's my thing now. I've decided. I take that. I'm going to use it on the final table of a bracelet event in a couple of weeks.
I would take that. The Oracle is out there. Good evening to you, Simon. Holdy Foldy, and Michelle is out there. I didn't see the thread. I have a shite phone. It's fair enough. You see, not everybody will see it, and that everyone will help. Holdy. Get in the thread. Chris Hibbert is out there. Gone. That doesn't sound too promising. I assume he is gone. Warren Brooks. Evening all. Evening to you, Warren. Mr. Nosy P is out there. Hi, lads. Evening to you, Wayne. And Mr. O'Hanlon is out there. Evening all. Evening to you, Kev. So a big bunch of the guys out there watching on with us, Leigh. So get your comments in the chat box.
So
guys.
obviously, we can. I can fill you in a couple of the players on your table, Paul. So we're watching Paul's table here at the moment. So to his right is Flasher Tilts, and that's Alan Ellis.
Brilliant name.
So he's got Alan to his right. Now Frank seems to have given himself a promotion because he's King Cormac these days.
Why not?
So Frank has definitely decided to up his game. Thinking,
Frank.
If others are making themselves a king, he's going to have a bit of that action as well.
No Cash has to be Dave Garden.
Well, exactly. No Cash 40
nice.
is very much Dave Garden. Absolutely 100% there. And the only other one I can tell you about on there is What Time Is It? And that is a player called Thomas Waleszewski. So that's
not right, Leigh. That's not right. That's not right. What time is it?
It's business. It's business time. I know what you're trying to say. You're trying to say it's time for business. It's business time.
It's business time,
Nice.
Leigh. It's business time.
The only man that has more than one promo video on the show.
Oh, you've got to love it. You've got to love it. And still they come, Leigh. Guy Cullen. Good evening. Good evening to you, Guy. And Mr. Logan is out there. Evening all. Evening to you, Don.
Yeah, saw Don playing last night in the Bounty Games, and I'm assuming he's in tonight. Haven't seen him, but I think he's his usual. I think he's Logie 66 on GG. Yes, he is. And he's been. Don's been Logie 66 for as long as I care to remember.
You're probably going back to season 1 or season 2, Leigh. I'd have thought.
Yeah, I think so. So very much the case. So Dr. Lucky breaks the million chip barrier. Our chip leader at the moment, which is pretty cool going.
Oh, look at this cheeky bloke, Leigh. When is the royalty check coming? Can't believe it. And he has spoken, so... Oh, wise one.
There we go. Very nice indeed. Sitting happy though, Paul, I think, really, to be honest. You've got 35 bigs here. Average stack is 29 and a half, 30 bigs at the moment. So we're down to, say, 29 players, top 17 getting paid. So we're looking on course at the moment, aren't we?
Yeah, I'm just having to fold in the PLO, which I don't really want to do, but kind of have to. Yeah, it's been good. So the hold'em in this one, I was well placed going back a little while, because not only did I have about 50 bigs myself, but the stack depths all around were like 20 or 30 bigs, which is like perfect situation to apply some pressure. And then I lost a few with queens against Amy's ace 10 on a double ace board, which I can probably fold turn, to be honest. But so that sent me back a bit. But yeah, we're in it.
Yeah, very much. That is the case. Min cash tonight, Des, is $41. I've not mentioned the prizes. Up top, $520 for the winner tonight. 400 for second and 305 for third. So some nice, nice chunky bits of money up top for our medal positions. So
very,
good luck
very
to all
nice.
of those.
Second there, very nice. I mean, there's a decent percentage for. Against second and third, really, isn't it?
Yeah. And don't forget, if you pick up a medal online these days, you just need to go onto apat.com/medal, pop your details in. You can either let us know which event you want to collect your medal at, and Tom will take it to that venue, and you can get a lovely photo with Tom presenting the medal, or he can pop them in the post for you, whichever is easiest for you. You just let us know what you prefer, and we will make the necessary arrangements. We've got a few to catch up going out, because Tom's been a bit busy the last month. So those of you that are still waiting from your UK championship will get those along with these ones now for the weekend, all out in one batch. So
not too busy to spend his evenings playing online poker though. So
well, I mean, I don't want to say too much, but he is very much multitasking at the moment, playing online poker and finalising the World Championship of Amateur Poker schedule. So yeah, we're pretty much just about there to go, Des, aren't we?
We had a raucous meet last night. Brilliant stuff. Loved it.
Yeah, so we're I think everyone's pretty much agreed. So we're just making it look nice and pretty. And I think tomorrow night on the show we will release the final schedule. So
you're doing a show tomorrow night as well?
Yeah, we are.
You're the hardest working guys in poker, you two, aren't you?
Well, I wouldn't go that far. I mean,
we laugh too much for that. I have to say. Yes.
Although I must admit, I do feel it when we're doing the live ones. Edinburgh was fantastic last weekend.
Let's talk about Edinburgh.
Don't get me wrong, it was an amazing weekend. Great to be back at the Maybury. It's just such a cool old school card room. It's great to be there. But yeah, those final tables when you're on your feet and you're kind of tracking everything is and technology's working against you. It's always great fun. But a really good final table, I thought, Des. Obviously you caught most of it as well. I'm assuming you didn't fall asleep at any point.
No. I was there pretty much for the whole thing and really enjoyed it. But it's a hell of a lot easier for me, sat in a nice comfy chair here. You were stood literally behind the dealer for 5 hours and about 4 minutes.
But they were superb dealers. A combination of some regular dealers that they've got, because they have got some decent tournaments there, but also a number of freelancers that were in for the weekend. Cannot fault it. The card room was pretty much full for its entirety. The staff were absolutely superb, packed with lots of local players. Speaking of which, let me quickly scoot back onto the other table, because there we can see Made You Fold again. This is an unusual situation for this player, because normally he's normally only up against 4 other players when he plays online. But that is our online chip leader from last weekend's event. That's Naz, who's made you fold again. So going deep in this one.
I loved your picture of him with the little stack, tiny little stack.
Can you believe they couldn't even be bothered to give him just a little bit of? They literally gave him 5 of the highest denomination chips they could find. Surprised they just didn't give him a $500,000 chip and just go, there you go, that's you done.
Absolutely.
It was the one after that that was funnier though. So someone asked for an update on him, and there was just empty chair, no chips.
Yeah, I mean, the slight thing is that we were sat in the bar, so it was Ben that asked for the chip count. I think he's going to double up again through Lily 2019. There he is, actually, or not quite a full double up, but he's going to bust Lily 2019 out of the hand. So Ben asked for a chip count, knowing he'd already bust because he was sat in the bar with us. So when Ben posted it up, of course, I just had to walk back into the card room and take a photo of the empty chair and post it up. So, but to be fair to Naz, I have never seen a player get quite as much abuse as he did coming into the day 2, based simply on his small average stack due to the online day 1, and he took it in great spirit. It was, but everybody wanted to make a comment to him about it. It was quite amusing to say the least.
There is one player who got a bit more abuse than that, and it was again Naz. When playing for Scotland in some international tournament I played a while ago. And
poor Naz doesn't deserve it. Nice guy, very nice guy. Mr. Lawler has a question, Leigh. Were there many in the PLO? Well, there was 69, which I'm sure he'll agree is always nice. Mr. Cullen is there. I didn't mean that, Leigh. I didn't mean that.
You did.
Mr. Cullen is there.
You so did. I mean, like I'm sorry, it got the schoolboy snigger that it deserved. I mean, like
Mr. Cullen is still trying to sober up. He says, "Hello, people. How are we? Currently a little drunk." I mean, he's been drunk since he came back from Vegas. This, of course, is D-Neg's friend Barry Cullen, right? As seen on D-Neg's podcast and all of that stuff. Hope to make late Reg. But the BBQ next door led me astray.
BBQ,
well, I think that's okay. A BBQ, I wouldn't say no to. Rich says, or eBay, right? Sophia Medals, the going rate, I believe, is 47 odd pounds. We can get one too for that.
Absolutely.
And it's Me Poo says hi on Twitch. Hi, it's
excellent.
Me Poo. Great name. I like that. There we go. We're up to date.
Excellent stuff. I do like that. Yeah. So Edinburgh was really, really good. Great final table. I'd say Chris there, our winner, a cracking heads up against Dave Kingswell. I thought Dave Kingswell played really, really well in two tables out and the early stages of the final table, and then just the sort of wheels came off for him, and he just couldn't get any momentum back. But it was a really, really good final table. Thoroughly enjoyable. And to say, apart from Dave, I didn't really know any of the players that were on it, so it was quite nice to kind of get to know the players and watch their play. And,
pretty decent final table, Leigh. Right? Good people. There were a lot of winners actually that came out of Edinburgh. We've got a little video of them. Here we go.
Yeah. He wasn't best happy. Pleased with his.
He wasn't happy.
No. He wasn't best. Pleased. To be fair, I briefly interviewed him afterwards, and he did say, he was gutted. But obviously he would get over and appreciate the fact that actually he's had a great run. I mean, he won our Irish event back in 2017, and he also won our Champions event, I think, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Dave. Yeah. So
a hell of a record. And he played a really good final table, and of course, I think he would have been a 2-1 chip leader. Heads up, Leigh. Which it's only 2-1, right? It's a lot of chips, of course, but
it was there was just a couple of, I won't say questionable, because everyone's entitled to play their hands as they want to play their hands, but I think there's a couple of hands which probably even Dave will look back on and go, so why did I open shove the ace-5 when I've got control of this heads up? It just didn't make any sense to do it. They weren't that short at that point, so it seemed a bit of a strange one to do. And from that moment on, he kind of just couldn't get control. But at that point, he really did have control of it. I didn't think for one second that he wasn't going to actually win it.
But I think Chris, who did take it down, played excellently. Throughout.
Yeah, he played really well.
Played
in the final
excellently throughout as well. And, you have to take your beats and what have you. And he quite a few. I mean, he was the chip leader at the start of the final table. It was up and down through the whole thing. He was quite involved, but kept it together. for the duration. And I think it was just over 5 hours, that final table, but very enjoyable to watch on.
I'm reliably informed that ace-5 shove heads up is solver approved, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not surprised. Yeah. I mean, ace is so strong, but I suppose, as you said on the day, Leigh, what's going to call you? Right, you're only
that's the bit. That's the bit I couldn't understand. Is it was what you open shove. What are you? Yeah, what are you expecting to get called? You're only getting called by better hands. I'm not quite. Yeah. I don't quite. But as I say, it's been and gone, and so
water under the bridge.
So yeah, absolutely.
The thing that sets that photo off perfectly, by the way, of Dave is the T-shirt. Not only is he grumpy as hell, he's got his massive That's it.
But yeah, Naz does make the point in the chat, quite right, Leigh, that he finished third in the side event on the Sunday, which he wasn't going to play, and then he sort of got talked into playing it, so did, and managed to get a cash in that as well. So very well done to him.
Leigh, do you see what Warren Brooks is doing here? He's saying obviously a well-structured tournament then, with Dave finishing. And to be perfectly fair to Dave, I think he did comment on the day several times. Played out really, really well.
Yeah,
just the irony of it, but c'est la vie.
Yeah, no. Well, we as we always say, everyone's entitled to their opinions, and what have we always said is come along and play the new live structure. And then tell us what you think once you've actually played it. It's very difficult to comment until you do it. You can't just look at one element of it. You've got to look at the whole thing, sit and actually play it. And I don't think there was any point where on that final table where they were playing less than 30 bigs. Yeah. Pretty much for the whole thing. It was really nice. And what I love with what we're playing tonight, we're absolutely replicating our live structure now with our online championship events, and these are stunning structures for the time that we play these things out now. So they run for about 4 hours, 4 and a bit hours, something like that, and I think just absolutely superb structures to play.
I have to say, Leigh, after several weeks of watching the Road to Vegas play out for some super big prizes, I'm a little concerned when I see the chip leader is more than 4 big blinds here.
Yeah, no, absolutely. They're still running those, by the way. So we're tomorrow night on the show. Awesome. We've got another one to watch. It's their 5 packages they're guaranteeing this week. So obviously they have dropped down the packages that they're guaranteeing, but they're still doing 5 packages. Now the crazy thing is, so the kind of the mega feeders that they run at the kind of 3 o'clock and 5:30. So you can go from $15 to what do I want to say? Is it $15 to 140 and then 140 into the 1175? Okay, so that is all still on. That 530 one, so it's $140 into the 1175. So bear in mind they're only now guaranteeing 5 packages, so that guarantee is about $60,000 for the final tomorrow night. That 530 package, that feeder, is guaranteeing something like nearly 40,000 of that final guarantee.
Wow.
So it's absolutely insane. They've not significant.
Yeah, they've not swing tomorrow.
I think so. They've not significantly dropped the feeders into the packages, but they've dropped the packages because it was at 15 at one point, then it dropped to 12 and 10. Well, this week it's only 5. So pretty much the 2/3 of that 60,000 guarantee tomorrow night they're covering in the feeder. So it's going to be well worth it if you are planning on going out to Vegas and wanting to try and have a final shot at picking up a main event package. I would recommend. What I would say is I'm not sure whether there's any snacks left in the GG Poker VIP lounge. That's all I'm going to say. So if you're expecting to get fed, that might not be a thing anymore. But you can still use your money, to get snacks. Chocolate is quite expensive in Vegas these days. So that's another one to bear in mind.
Go and get yourself a $7 banana instead.
That is hilarious.
So,
I'll tell you what you might be able to get, Leigh. You might be able to get one of these. They've started to arrive, I hear. The GG Poker T-shirts.
They have.
Taking a while in fairness, but starting to arrive now, which is nice to see.
To be fair, they started to arrive about 4 days after I messaged the guys at GG saying, "What's going on with these T-shirts?" People are asking. I think I just might have just timed my I might have moaned it in. I might have just timed that slightly wrong. Yeah, it looks like they're working their way through the system now. So hopefully those
mine hasn't arrived yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Simon asks, what's the lowest feeder? And I'd be tempted to say a Chelsea fan.
Hey, very, very good. I think you can do $2 into the $15. So I think you can go from $2 to 15, then 15 into the 140, and then 140 into the 1175 tomorrow night. So yeah. And they're normally running all day. So if you want to get to those.
Don has had a double up in the No Limit Hold'em. Good on you, Don. Keep it going. Simon mentions, did Player X steal them? Now, I can't say on air who Player X is because he's actually in our World Series of Poker APAT fantasy group. So we can't mention a name there, but he is a well-known pro. What have we left, Leigh? 24 in the main?
Yeah, 24. Just looking where Don is now. Don 18th. So Don is 18th at the moment of the 24. Triplin's still going in this as well. We mentioned Alan Ellis. Nosy P. Wayne Parker is still in this main event. No Cash 40. We mentioned Dave. LPGN is Lee Wyatt. So he's still going.
Yeah. Like Leigh.
In 15th place is this guy. Des, this guy. Do you know who this guy is? This guy.
That's Ben Burnhill, yeah?
That is Ben Burnhill, yes.
Okay.
So Ben is still going in this as well. We mentioned Naz. We mentioned Amy. I think Amy is still going in that one as well. Amy Hogan. Who else have we got? I can still see. I know Taddy Poker is. I've seen the name. Find out who Taddy Poker is. Mark Steele. So Mark is still going in this. Asa is still in this. Guy is still in this. Warren Brook is still in this. And one Pairs 27 is now currently third in the chip.
Yeah, Dave Howard is not Dave Howard. Is it Dave Howard or Dave Garden?
Dave Garden. Yeah.
Dave Garden.
Sorry, he's no longer in it, I'm afraid.
Oh, that's is that at the hands of you?
Because of me flopping the absolute world against him just now.
Oh, right, okay. And I think I've seen Broken Toy. Let me just see if I can find out who Broken Toy is.
Oh, Leigh.
Broken Toy is Joe Dunlop. Our chip leader at the moment is Broken Toy, and that is Joe Dunlop.
Oh, he's got to be on a motorbike, right? Joey Dunlop. Do you remember the great
Dunlop, yeah, I'm just
Irish
old enough to
rider?
get that.
And we've just had the TT. Amazing stuff. Leigh, do I see that No Goat is like currently in the top 10 of the PLO? Wow.
No.
Or am I completely making that shit up?
Oh, 12th. Oh, he's jumped in the PLO, is he?
There you go. And he's doing well. Oh, that is cheeky. He should have had a handicap
well, I don't know.
in there.
I said, I mean, he's got exactly 250,000 chips. Has he not got some sort of like ultra sort of account or something? They've just given him a superstar to stack. Is that what they've done? You know, very late reg. Is that what they've done? Yeah, is he taking the rebuy on the add-on, and they've let him in, you know, another 4 levels on. No, yeah, Tom is he's snuck into the PLO. I didn't think he knew how to play PLO.
He did say to us before play started, Leigh, he said, I'm desperate to win one of these medals that I've been handing out for years. I'm desperate to win one of my own.
I don't know what his problem is. He's literally got boxes of them at home. I mean, he could just present himself one, and we wouldn't have an issue with it.
Shows you. Asa says, nice flop. That was for you, Paul.
Yeah, that was the busting Dave Garden one.
Yes,
I defended big blind with a suited king and flopped the nut flush.
Alan Ellis is all in on your table, Paul. Brand Freeman has raised it up. Is that an Isle of Man flag, I want to say, that Brand has got there? But Alan's got aces up against Line of the Sun, who's got pocket nines, needs to avoid a 9 or a 10.
That's Hong Kong, by the way.
Is it? Really?
Oh, yeah, you've little faith.
It is Hong Kong. Very good. Yeah. And Alan's going to get a double up. So aces hold. It's nice to see again different, lots of different countries. Predominantly we've got UK and Ireland players playing this, but actually we have got we've got player from Montenegro still in, player from Hong Kong that we just mentioned. I've got a couple of Dutch players I think still in this one tonight. So it's nice to see. And there was plenty playing last night as well. So Montenegro's a new one to me. We got some Austrian players in the PLO. As well. Okay, a couple more Dutch players. One Russian, German as well.
Oh, look at that! The pain of it.
And loses to aces previous hand, gets dealt aces very next hand, and gets busted by King Queen.
Unlucky, sir. Unlucky.
The joy of.
But that is poker.
Of online poker, yeah, exactly. That's very much the case. So we're down to 21, Des. So we're now 4 off the money here. And the players at risk. Let me see if I can bring up the chips on the screen for you. There we go. How about that?
Nice. Okay.
So they're the players. They're the players at risk. So we've got 7 bigs, so it's 8 bigs. Ducatidi 16's got 8 bigs as well. Then Wayne Parker's got 11 bigs. Plan Vlodek's got 12. Triplin's got 12, and Ben Burnhill, this guy, has got 12 and a half as well. So yeah, they're the ones that are at risk here of missing out on the money.
How has Pairs 27 escaped the APAT block, Leigh? That's very
well.
It's early days yet, of course.
That was last night. You pre-booked it.
It's I mean, it's been consistent play actually, Paul, for the weekend for you, really. I mean, say your finishes yesterday, 12th and 10th is pretty consistent. Looks like you're going to be on for. I mean, do we go as far as saying I can't see how he's not going to win this, Des? Yeah, I mean, should we just?
Well,
that's how it works, isn't it?
Medal, maybe, Leigh.
I mean, have we just by us saying that, have we effectively just given the title to Ben Burnhill? Is that what we've done?
I mean, literally in real time, you've now got me into this awkward spot. I'm going to
talk us through it. What are you going to do, Paul? Talk us through it.
I don't know this guy at all. He's
no, it's not. It's a player from Montenegro. I can tell you.
Well, he was in that.
He's either new to the table or I just haven't noticed him before.
He was in that last hand with King Queen.
He's only got winnings of 7,500 on GG. So
I'd snap his hand off for that.
Don't let Des talk you into anything.
Now that Des has said that,
you're totally safe here, Paul. Get him in.
It's an instant fold. Yeah.
Not the top player
there. Mr. Hibbard out there in the PLO. I don't know how to play Omaha, but trying my best. Lots of people trying. Is that
not Chris, who's chip leader?
No. Oh yeah. Okay.
Is he not Red Chris? Is he Red Chris 76?
I would have thought that's very possible.
I mean, it might not be, but I'm gonna guess it probably is.
Well, he deserves a shout out for that. Good man.
I can't see. Yeah, it's not on the list, so I can't confirm it. Nice to see DJ Big Club playing both the events tonight. Simon back from Vegas.
Yes.
So safely back in the country, which is always nice. And I think they had a good trip. I know he had a couple of cashes. Yeah. So we'll assume it is. Maybe. I'll tell you what. I can't add you to the list for the added value, but I'll add you to the list for the leaderboards, Chris. Now we know it's you, so we'll
and we're happy to take your advertising anytime.
Yeah, not a problem at all.
Okay, this sports giz guy is irritating me now. Here we are again.
Oh, and he's put you to all your chips again, Paul. Okay.
I noticed that, yeah. He got some random disgusting straight, or did he have an 8 all along? I want him to show something just to see if he gets out of line as a matter of course. I think he'd be showing these bluffs to just.
Why has he got a crash helmet? Is that something? Oh, he's on mute. Okay, right. So he's obviously not allowed to talk.
What's that about a crash helmet? His avatar's just a stormtrooper, isn't it, or something?
No, it's a little like mute helmet, which says
Okay.
it says mute on it. So it means, I presume it means they're on a chat ban, or they're not, or they're not, they don't talk. So
Wow.
Okay.
And funnily enough, the player from Hong Kong's got the same thing as well.
Yeah, Brand Freeman.
Yeah. So even though you've had two tricky hands there, I think you're still
I'm 6th out of 20 with 20.
yeah, you're still 6th, yeah. So still very much up there. And still got more than the average stack at the moment, which is 20 bigs at the moment.
And I'm clinging on in the PLO, but then literally clinging on. I'm 28th out of 29 in the PLO. Can't get anything in the PLO, but long way to go for someone.
But are you 28th with? We're still with 10 bigs though, Paul, which is, we know in PLO is still plenty, isn't it?
Yeah, I've got it in big blind mode because I'm not Dan Owston. He's insisting on knowing his exact chip count.
Yeah, I must admit, I've pretty much just got used to big blinds now since we switched over for the show. I don't really work in any other currency these days, so I tend not to worry about it too much. It's going to get really confusing when I actually play live in a couple of weeks' time, because I'm just going to have back on chip stacks again. I don't know how I'm going to. Means I've got to be doing regular calculations and stuff. That doesn't sound like fun.
Actually, going to play some poker this time?
Nah, I doubt it. I mean, it's all talk, to be honest.
Not for long.
I'm only going for the burgers. Let's be honest. So, yeah.
How much in the World Series calf? About 25, probably.
Probably, yeah. Probably when we were talking about where's the most expensive burger in Vegas, it probably is there. Actually, yeah. Wouldn't surprise me in the slightest.
Bad thing.
No, I don't know. Where is the most expensive? Where is the best place to go for a burger in Vegas? That's a good one. I'd love to know what people think. We had a very, very good one last year at Gordon Ramsay's in Planet Hollywood, which I was really impressed with from the burger point of view. But would love to know if anyone's got anywhere else they would recommend for a real proper fancy burger.
For just won a poker tournament celebration kind of burger.
Exactly that kind of thing.
That's the spirit.
Yeah, that's exactly the sort of thing we're talking about. So
Simon says in and out. I don't know if he's typed that in the wrong chat box or whatever. It might be an entry for the burger competition.
Isn't In-N-Out Burger like a massive chain? There's like thousands of them. It's just another.
Or like Wendy Burger.
Oh, I used to like
White
Wendy
Castle.
Burgers. I used to like Square Burgers. Used to like Wendy Burgers.
White Castle Square Burgers.
They were good. Yeah, they were good.
I worked in a White Castle once.
Did you really?
I did. I was 15, and my brother lived in New York, so I went out on a summer from school, and was there for 3 months. I worked the whole time.
What kind of board is this?
Oh no, what's going on? Well, the sevens are nice, right? Oh dear God!
Not really. No.
God, I've just seen it.
Not really. Yeah.
The sevens were all right until that 3 landed on turn.
Wow.
That's Alan Ellis. Had his double up with his aces, and is now.
What a blind on blind ridiculousness is that?
Well, there's some big hands clashing here.
Yeah, we've just lost Tristan in 21st, so we're down to 20 now, so 3 off. And Paul now down in
he's jamming any two in small blind.
Yeah, down in 15th of the 20 remaining now. So
we'll have to see some moves here, Leigh. Barry says get to Herds and Rye for the stakes. Beer Park above Paris also do a great burger.
We've been to Beer Park above Paris.
Oh yes, yeah, we went there with Grosvenor, didn't we?
Grosvenor,
they booked it there. That was nice.
With their star attraction, Will Kassouf.
Yeah, it was. But actually, it's a lovely spot overlooking the strip, isn't it? Actually, as a place, and they have a pool table there as well, don't they, Paul?
Yeah, we played. Yes. I realised the stitch up that's coming here as well. Yes, go on, laugh it up.
No, I've just mentioned they've got a pool table. That's all. Nothing other than that needs to be said, does it? Unless you want to make a statement.
I made a profit in a pool tournament there. That's all you need to know.
There we go. That works. We can leave it at that. No, very good. That was it was good fun with Grosvenor. Actually, they put on their player party there, and it was really good fun. And I think they've got their team are all out there at the moment, aren't they? Mostly playing, I think.
Yeah. Katie's out there, and well, they all are. Yeah, Matt Davenport's out there now that he's part of the gang, having won basically all of their tournaments last year.
Yeah, so I saw he just was flying out to. I think he flew out today, didn't he? I think if I saw rightly, out with his other half.
Nice.
So yeah, looking forward to catch up with some of those guys in a couple of weeks' time. And of course, then their focus is going to be once they're all done with Vegas, is very much going to be on the Goliath, beginning of or end of July, beginning of August, and that will be the focus for APAT as well, because we will be at the Goliath for the APAT Open Championship on the 5th and 6th of August. £120 buy-in tournament. It's the last weekend of Goliath, so if you fancy getting involved in that, whether you've been playing the day ones and not got through to day two of Goliath, or you're playing the day two of Goliath and you bust out before the money, or made the money and bust out and want to jump into that, it'll be our usual tournament structure. So it'll be a really good deep stack 2-day event. Well worth getting involved in if you can, if you're at Coventry, as so many players will be for that couple of weeks. And that kind of sits then just in between. It's a middle weekend of the WSOP Super Circuit at London as well, which is at the Grosvenor Hotel. So that's around that time as well. And once that finishes, then we're very much into our World Championships at Dusk Till Dawn. So it's going to be an absolutely chaotic end of July and August time for poker in the UK. So many big events going on.
And just to reconfirm what you said earlier, Leigh, we're hoping 10 p.m. tomorrow night, live in the APAT Show, to reveal the schedule for the World Championship. Cannot wait. Frank Bailey, Leigh. Frank Bailey. Yeah. Heart Attack Grill, Fremont Street. Another potential.
The one opposite Mickey Finn's.
Is that the one with the scales outside?
Pilgrim tried to get a free steak on the basis that he was over the weight thing, and they pointed out that his wheelchair didn't count.
That's very unfair. Very unfair.
Nice.
We're not going to have that.
So we're down to 19 nowadays. So we are now hand for hand.
Yeah.
It's
business time, Leigh.
Yeah, it is business time. And Paul's on 10.2 bigs at the moment. He's 15th of the 19 remaining. So the short stack at the moment is Worth from Netherlands, who's got 3 bigs. And then Pan Vlodek has got 8.3 bigs. Brad Freeman on this table's got 9.4. So
I'll now be doing my best to bubble for the second medal night in success.
Actually, three of the 4 short stacks are all on the are on table NAS. So they're on this table. So
and yet I've opened Jan button anyway.
Nothing wrong with that. So Paul picks up there. So there's. I mean, there are others that are going to be I think in bother far sooner than the likes of Paul will. Say Amy on this table's got 12 bigs and is in a hand with Guy. Guy's going to win that one. We're just going to see this play out. This is an opportunity for some of the bigger stacks to try and scoop up a few chips whilst this is going on for those that are trying to get into the cash here. Min cash is $41 here for everyone that makes it. But average stack now is just creeping down, Des, whilst we just play this bubble.
Of
so it's down to
course,
18 bigs now. That's always going to be the case.
Luckily, unless I'm sat with less than half a blind, I'm calm. It's okay.
It's not even exciting, is it, really? It's
half a
that's the way it
blind,
is.
start to sweat.
Yeah, PLO is down to 24. That's paying top 11. So
where am I out of those 24?
I'm assuming 24th. You, yeah, you'll be 24th then. Yeah, but still with 8 bigs. I mean, that's chunks. Absolute chunks in PLO.
Right where I want them.
Yeah, absolute chunks. Well, the daft thing is 2 double ups and you're in the top 10. That's all it is.
That easy, yeah.
Yeah. Well, and you know that in PLO we know every hand is a winner because you get 4 cards, so you can't fail but to.
The equities are obviously very narrow pre-flop.
Yeah. So second and third chip leader playing a hand here on Paul's table, and Sportscut 891, who's been causing Paul all sorts of trouble.
The more he's doing it, the more annoyed I am.
Well, you're going to find out what he's got because he's got 2 pair.
Oh my word!
Dr. Lucky needs to avoid a 7 or a 5 and does, and all of a sudden the second place stack player has just bust the third stack player, which means these shorties now are going to be actually they might not even be one off. Yeah, going to be one off the money. I think now. I think we should be. We're going up to 18. So now, so on the other table, Wirt has got 1.2 bigs left. Des has gone through the blinds and is pretty much trying to blind out for the cash here.
Well, it's not worth it for $40. Let's go.
But he's folding away, so he's going to certainly get another about 3 hands in here. So the next players have all got sort of 9 bigs, all of them. So I mean, I don't think anyone's going to do anything too silly here. Whilst you've got a real short stack here, just even if it's just to get in the money. Obviously, it is playing hand for hand, so they're all going to play an even number of hands whilst this happens. But I don't see where it's folded again. So quite happily just losing an ante every time here. And I don't think anyone's going to do anything too silly here. These guys on sort of 8 and 9 bigs here, and there's a bunch of them. There's about 6 that have got that sort of range. I don't think anybody's going to be getting involved in very much. I mean, the only one on Paul's table that is really going to kind of call a shove from Paul is going to be Dr. Lucky, who's the chip leader now.
Who's to my left and is opening every hand.
Yeah.
Okay. I need some help in the PLO.
Are you all in?
I've got some help in the PLO.
Oh, so you got a double up.
Hang on. Let's see river first. Yeah, we're all right.
There you go. That's the first of the 2 double ups I said you should do. So well done.
Even I won't jam 9-3 in this spot in the hold'em. So live to fight another day.
No reason to.
Leigh, have we had a medalist on the show since Super Matt Pitt won something going back about 2.5 years ago?
You are determined to block the fuck out of me.
Have we? I mean, we've got to try. We've got to try, Paul, right? That's how we get our ratings here, right? Our fans,
Where is all in?
Where is expect it? Who's all in?
Where is all in, folks? Amy and Guy are going to check this down, surely, because this is the money bubble in the No Limit Hold'em freeze out. Amy's fired a little cheeky bet there at the end. Is Guy going to pay this off?
That's not good for Whir.
Hopefully.
Well, they're assuming she's got an 8. If you're putting a little bet in there at the end, otherwise, I don't see why it's worth doing anything there. Guy's having a little think about this. Players are going to be on a break because we're 5 to the hour anyway. So this could be the in the money and players on a break. And there are the 8s. That's what I thought she'd have.
Nice.
And that'll be that. So Whir's going to depart in 18th place. And we are going to have our 17 in the money. So well done to everyone that's made the cash. We're 5 to the hour, so players are on the break. We've got 24 left in the PLO as well with... Tom Brady is 12th in that with 28 bigs, and Paul is now up to 20th, just one place behind Di Farrell. who obviously medalled last night. So looking to die, still going in the PLO, looking for back-to-back medals.
Nice going. It will be lovely to see it.
So 5 to the hour. So players on a break. Obviously, Paul, we're very aware that you're playing. So if you do need to take a break, we kind of get that, and feel free to do what.
I'm all right, actually.
Whatever you need to do. But I guess you've had a day of sitting drinking beer, so your body must be just used to it.
Pretty much, yeah. It feels like we're in sort of hour 48 of the day, but no, it's okay.
I love the fact that the Ashes still has that kind of that feel for people. It's still it's something to look forward to, and it creates the atmosphere, and people go along and celebrate it.
And it's a perfect mix of that the fans really want their team to win, but it's still very friendly and jovial, and like there's no animosity and all that. So like you'll sing all sorts of songs at each other, but then go and buy each other a beer and chat outside the ground and all of that. It's nice.
Did you see that video? Well, I only saw it a week or two ago, but it might well be an old one, about some bloke who's obviously had a few vinos too many at the cricket. I'm assuming it was an England game, but I'm not entirely sure. He is sat in the stand or whatever, and people are just loading food and all sorts of items on his hat. And I mean, the entire grandstand is loving this. The TV is on it, and somebody just puts too much on there, and the whole thing goes over. He's still asleep. Dear. The bloke is... he could have been dead. Might have died.
I do love the cricket. There was something today. They caught a guy carrying beers back to one of the stands, and there's cricket going on, but they've stopped talking about the cricket, and they're now talking about this guy. He looks like he spilt a little bit on one of them, and that's not great. And then one of his mates has gone to grab one of the pints, and he's grabbed the one that he spilt some out of, and they're going, "Well, that's just crazy. Why would you do that? Pick the one of the full ones." And the whole conversation's going. And the other thing that they just cut away to today is there was another game of cricket going on just to the side of Edgbaston, just a local park or whatever there, and they've obviously got a drone footage or whatever they've got going on, and they've just gone over and started watching the other game. and I've just got he's bowling, he's off spin over the wicket kind of thing, and it's a bit greener, that pitch, isn't it? And they just started watching that for a bit, and then, well, I suppose we better get back to the Ashes. I mean, I don't think you get that in any other sport, would you? Really?
You talk about the crowd cams. Did you see that one in? I think it was in the NBA, and sometimes in timeouts and that they go into the crowd and they draw little sort of love hearts over couples. Yes. They went in over one. There was the man and the woman there. They're sort of they're having a bit of a kiss and a cuddle. They put the heart over. They saw themselves on the screen and they were like hands down, looking away from each other. They're like clearly not supposed to be there together.
It's been a good summer so far for American sport. Obviously, we're talking about Vegas and obviously the Golden Knights went and picked up the Stanley Cup.
It's their victory parade tonight down the strip, isn't it? Like
no way, amazing.
So missed. We're gonna for those heading out to Vegas in the next week or two, gonna miss that little bit. I think they'll still be partying, to be honest. Absolutely incredible, and I think you're going to see more and more big sporting events and big sporting teams coming into Vegas. It's going to be more things to see and do. I don't know whether, do you see so they're currently hosting the CONCACAF like some sort of playoff finals game. So America played, I think, Mexico the other night in Vegas.
Yeah, and it was a bloodbath.
It was 3-0 to the States, but they were both down to 9 men.
Yeah.
Apparently. So which is just absolutely ridiculous. And they've and I think it's the States versus Canada in the final on, I want to say, Monday night, I think it is. So
speaking of bloodbaths, someone just picked off Des. He just disappeared for a second. Oh, there he is.
I'm taking some inspiration from you.
So, but it's great, and I think the more kind of sporting teams that are going to get in there and into Vegas gives you more things to do and more opportunities to experience things. I think the baseball's going to be the next big one, I think, isn't it? That's they're still talking about the baseball stadium, what they're going to build there, and what's going to come in.
And Formula One, Leigh, don't forget the Formula One.
Oh, well,
coming soon.
Well,
November,
I saw
right?
somebody whinging and moaning about traveling into the series at the moment and all the roadworks that are there because
that makes
of what's being done for the Formula One. So people were having a bit of a moan about the obviously the traffic is normally bad anyway, but it's even worse at the moment because of all the areas where they're currently doing work ready, which that'd be interesting just to see what they're doing and in preparation for it. It's all going to be good. But players are back after the break. So we're down to 16 very, very quickly. So Taddy Poker's busted 17th. So but congratulations to all those that are in the money. I think we'll see this now speed up a little bit. We're back up to an average stack of 21 bigs. I'm going to guess we're going to see one or two players here now get a little bit busy in the early stages after this break.
Warren mentioning there, Leigh, United and Barcelona in Vegas.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think I missed that on my trip, but there's I think that's the same series that United are playing Wrexham.
I guess it is
as well.
Ace is saying baseball in London next week.
Yeah, at West Ham at the
Brilliant.
on the Olympic Park. So, and obviously there's also NFL again later on this year at I think is it Wembley and Tottenham? I want to say. I think they're doing both of them.
Yeah.
And I think there's also isn't there an NFL game over in Munich as well? I think.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So
we'll try and get tickets.
I wouldn't. I think they're already sold out, those ones. So don't bother trying to get tickets. Anyone? I wouldn't bother. If you were wanting to get tickets for the NFL,
you haven't got your tickets yet, then, Leigh. No.
I wouldn't even bother.
You have to join the queue about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. I wouldn't. If you're thinking it, if you're fancying it, I just try 2024. Maybe see if you can get in then.
So the story behind this is that last year they said the link will go live to be able to get tickets at 9 a.m. and don't try before 9 a.m. because you'll just lose your spot when it turns 9 a.m. So, get in there at 9. I got in there at 9 o'clock on the dot. I was number 230,000th in the queue. Like, absolutely not. It wasn't
just ludicrous.
Yeah. It's they still haven't found a way to kind of make it a level playing field, have they really? For tickets and things.
No. See if it's any different this time, but I'm not holding my breath.
No, it's.
Talk about tickets, by the way. Went to the cricket today. I only got my ticket for that yesterday. I went on
digital.
Absolutely lucked out. I had a free day, and obviously I knew it was at Edgbaston.
Right, okay.
I thought I didn't want to pay like 300 quid resale, so I didn't bother with like Viagogo and all of them. But just bear with me 1 second to play this PLO hands.
I think Warren is looking for to bust a player here in the No Limit Hold'em, and he's going to. His ace queen is going to bust the jacks.
What did I tell you about jacks, Leigh? Let him go, man. Let him go.
Yeah. Meanwhile, huge hand on Paul's table, and it's the nut flush against the second nut flush. The chip leader. It's number 1 and 2 in stacks. Wow. And it's going to get in a Granu dance. It's getting in a Granu dance, folks.
Nice.
There you go.
So much for Dr. Lucky. So yeah, I went on the official Edgbaston website because they have a ticket exchange, and just on the off chance, I didn't think there'd be any tickets left. I had a look, and there was one. There was one ticket.
Nice.
So I had that.
Very nice.
Did you make friends? I didn't ask you whether did you.
Yeah.
Good, nice, excellent. Always good.
I am probably going with that, not because my hand's great, but because I'm blocking most hands that are.
What in the PLO or?
It's got bottom set, and yeah, okay, I'm dead.
Oh, in your PLO, right? Okay. So it's just you were in a hand in the Hold'em as well. I'm thinking, okay, that sounded like you were gonna shove it, and then you and you folded. So okay, so Broken Toy is now our chip leader. I think I did say who that was. Where was it? Joe Dunlop is Broken Toy. So Gardu is going to be all in, and Joe folds, and Gardu is Mark Winsell. So
That's annoying. I've gone from well placed in both to out of the PLO and 6 bigs in the Hold'em.
Yeah, but I mean, looking at the Hold'em at the moment, obviously Joe, say Broken Toy's got 85 bigs there, but Warren is currently second in chips with 25 bigs, and Dr. Lucky is third in chips with just 17 bigs. So it's pretty shallow after the chip leader. And Paul is all in and is going to get called by Dr. Lucky and VA2 G20.
Oh, wow.
Oh, need a 9.
Yeah.
Queen's not going to do you any good.
Gonna
It's
help.
going to need running. That's going to be that.
All cash is good cash, right?
Yeah, so Paul's going to pick up a cash. Just going to miss out on the added value again on the final table.
Again.
Meanwhile, Ben's all in against Naz, ace 9 against 8 Scottish teammates, and he hits his 9 on the river, but it's another spade, which means the 8 of spades plays for the flush, and Ben gives Naz a little "you suck" emoji, which kind of feels appropriate. Yeah.
Boys, a bit of good news. Maybe Joe is saying this year was a lot easier to get tickets for the NFL. Took about 10 minutes to get some cracking seats in the end zone.
In the end zone?
Nice. In the end zone.
I'm not surprised they're cheap. You get the shit beaten out of you every time they get scored a touchdown. I presume she's talking about Wembley tickets. I presume you're talking about Wembley tickets, and I haven't just completely missed the Tottenham dates.
Yeah, I hope not. But I do think is it next week? I think it's
midweek. I think is it like this Wednesday or something? This Wednesday or Thursday.
So Paul's just obviously just bust the PLO, as Di, as well as has McShovins, which is Joe. So three in a row exits, unfortunately, for Joe, Paul, and Di in the PLO. So we're down to 20 in the PLO now, paying top 11. And we're now heading the right way towards the final table here in the No Limit Hold'em. Looking at some of the stacks here, Des, I think we will get to a final table. Fairly quickly. Yeah.
Joe said, Wembley. Tottenham a few days off, been on sale, as you guys have said.
Yeah. Right. So the Wembley ones have already gone on sale then. Okay.
By all accounts.
Yeah, that's what I meant. So when Joe said that she'd already got tickets, I assumed it was Wembley. Yeah, it's this. It's either Wednesday or Thursday this week. The Tottenham ones go on sale. And there's 2 games, consecutive weekends in October.
So it's Wembley. She's the famous Joe Chilmaid, and she's off to Wembley. Very nice.
Wembley.
Very nice.
Wembley. Hey, what about West Ham? Just a minute for West Ham, please. Magnificent, right? We haven't discussed it.
Yeah, I thought it was great. I don't
Roberts and
I don't get all this thing of it's the tournament. What is this? You got to remember back in the day, you had the European Cup, you had the Cup Winners' Cup, and you had the UEFA Cup. And obviously before that it was the Fairs. They were all considered. If you won any of those, it was prestigious. It was whatever. Yeah. For some reason, we seem to belittle tournaments these days, and I don't understand the reason why.
The only people that belittle them are the people from clubs who typically expect to be.
I thought it was great. I thought it was great for West Ham. I thought it was great for Declan Rice. I thought he's handled himself pretty well with what looks now to be a possible move away. And I thought Moyes deserved it. I think he hasn't been treated brilliantly at some clubs in the recent past. And I thought for the West Ham fans, and certainly we know lots of West Ham fans in the APAT community, thought it was great for them, and it gets them back into Europe next year. They've had a bit of a torrid time in the Premier League this year, but it's that's an additional English side in Europe next year, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, Leigh is showing his hammers, his irons. Lovely, love it. Steve Forty's out there. Leigh, friend of the show, Steve Forty. Hi all. Misclicked and found the show. Well, I am not sure we've had less nice things said to us, but was on holiday in Spain 2 weeks ago, and me and Hannah, the Villa fan, I remember Hannah, his daughter, went to see Barcelona and Mallorca. They won 3-0 last game before they rebuilt the new camp. Stayed for the end of session presentations, blah, blah. Missed the bus back to where we were staying, 50 kilometers away. So had to book a hotel room for the night. It was a great game, but cost plenty. Think of the experience, Steve. The story you've got. Joe said Don's commitment to all the overseas away games. Seriously impressive. You've got to say that. Don was at all of the games, and even for the final, I think he left like about 4 days early.
Yeah, but I mean, what I was most impressed with his accuracy with a plastic pint glass from a distance was
impressive.
Incredible. Oh, very impressive. Really, really impressive. I mean, I must admit, I've watched him walk on water in Coventry, but the skills that guy's got, super impressive.
I'm not singing that. And yeah, just fantastic. Delighted for
the impressive thing about Don going to all the games as well. They're not like Barcelona and Madrid and like amazing cities either. They're all, there's lots of Eastern Europe, and there's not that there's anything wrong with that, but you know what I mean.
But
it was interesting. What a lot of the West Ham fans said though is they quite enjoyed the fact that they were getting to go and see places that they wouldn't normally get to go and see, and from an experience point of view, and they embraced it. And I thought West Ham actually they put a pretty decent side out for all of their games. They took it seriously, and therefore they got just rewards really.
People say that about Warsaw as well. Yeah, and then the 50% or so that managed to make it out again say that.
Let me try to. Am I right in saying they only lost one or drew one of all of their European games?
Yeah, I don't think they lost a game.
Ridiculous.
I don't think that.
Or maybe they drew one.
I don't think they lost. I think there's only one they didn't win. I think. Yeah,
which I think for a team that was struggling in the league, right? At a point there was a lot of concern about West Ham. It just shows how much that tournament meant to them, right? That they were able to get each other up to that degree. Ben's
in a good spot, ace queen against ace 4 there, and 4 on the flop means he's going to double up. Ducatidi.
There's Mr. Dunlop. Hola, shout out to Coldstream Poker. Quite right. So Joe was at the team event going back.
He has got. I mean, seriously, he has, with 14 players left, he's got 3.5 million chips, which is nearly 90 bigs, which is 4 times the next player.
Pretty decent. Leigh says 1 draw. So we're right. I mean, that's an incredible campaign.
Yeah, I thought it was. Yeah, it was just superb.
And some tough games there. No question about it. Nas said he was shouting for that 4. Delivered it, Nas. I'm not sure my son is that pleased.
He's just been bussed by Warren.
So
do we need to ban Warren from APAT now, Des, for knocking Ben out?
Let's get Warren out. And Herbert is there, Leigh. Hi, good game.
Yes,
nice to see you, Herbert.
It is. He is on as, let me find him. Itful Coffer. Where is he? I saw him register up earlier on.
I think he's in Austria, Leigh.
Great to see him back playing.
Absolutely.
I just can't see what he's on. I'll find him in a minute.
Herbert, tell us what name you're under.
Oh, there he is. He's Harry Call 44.
Super. There we go.
So yeah. So great to see him back playing APAT again. Was playing obviously regularly online with us during lockdown, and has stuck with us since. So it's great to see you back over on GG.
And he's shouting as well. Ducatidi, says Eddie. So is that Eddie?
There's a bit of a motorbike theme going on. We've got Joey Dunlop and Ducati, isn't it?
Well, is that Eddie? Yeah, I'm wondering whether it is, because he's not. Again, Eddie's not one which is registered up to let us know his username. So is that could, I can't believe Eddie wouldn't be playing these events. So that could well be Eddie then, I reckon. Quite possibly.
Yeah, and Herbert says next time again. So looking forward to it, Herbert.
I've got a funny feeling. Ducatidi might well be Eddie. We'll see whether Eddie will actually confirm that's the case, because he's not registered up on the leaderboards yet. So
Leigh, while we've got everybody, tell us about this.
Top 10.
I like it, Leigh. Love the poster.
Yeah, so it's our new weekly leaderboard, which is starting on Monday. So it's Eddie's missus.
Beautiful. Love it.
Okay.
So it's mostly accounting then.
Okay, so Eddie is true Babataga, but but Ducatidi is Mrs. Eddie. Excellent. Okay, we will. I'll make sure you both get added. Yes. So on Monday, the new weekly leaderboard starts. We've had our kind of daily tournaments up and running on GG for a little while now. We've just kind of been, tweaking them here and there, just making sure everything's running well. And we're in a good place to go now with those. Just watching Leigh, he's now gone behind on the turn. Is going to struggle to do anything else against Amy there.
Spade.
Amy's got the nut flush.
No good.
So Lee's going to double Amy up. Yes. So our new leaderboard's going to start, and we're keeping it super, super simple. So we've got 10 tournaments, 2 a day. They're at sort of 8:05, 8:09. 8:05, 9 every day. $10 buy-in. Basically finish in the top 10, and we're going to give you some leaderboard points, kind of Grand Prix style. So it'll go from 1 point up to 25 for the win. And then the top 10 players in the leaderboard at the end of the week will get their points.
Say that again, Leigh. You've just gone silent.
He's gone all Norman Collier on us.
It's like he doesn't want to give money away. What's going on?
Yeah. No. Audio has gone, mate.
So we can hear you very, very low. Maybe do a reconnect thing, Leigh.
He was going on a bit, though, wasn't he, to be honest?
I was. I had to pull him. Paul. Oh, there he is gone.
Even better. Even better.
Yeah, so just confirming that. Eddie says, my missus. Joe says, I think it may be Mrs. Eddie.
Yeah, there you go.
And Warren just confirms Eddie's name. Eddie says, thank you. And Sai says, take it, they're freeze outs. Yeah, I think they are.
They are. They very much are. Is that any better?
They are.
Yes.
That's much better.
Perfect. Excellent. Yes. So, finishing the top 10 of the leaderboard at the end of the week, and we will turn your points into $T.
Lovely.
As simple as that. So, as I say, the more points you can earn in the week, the more $T you will get. And because we're kicking things off this week, GG Poker are going to basically change everybody's points into $T for the first week. So it doesn't matter where you finish on the leaderboard. They will turn everybody's points into $T for the first week. So all you need to do is basically register your screen name with it on our Facebook group. There's a thread there. If you're not on Facebook for any reason, you can go onto the website, onto apat.com/top10. And there is a little form you can fill out there if you're not a Facebook user. But the easiest way to do it is just go and add your name and you screen name to the thread on the Facebook group. It's pinned to the top. It's on the featured section on the Facebook group, and we'll do the rest. You just play, and whenever you play, finish in the top 10, we'll add you points onto the leaderboard, and you'll be away to go. So.
Fantastic. Top 10, Leigh. Top 10. So 9 plus Tony Ross, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, you can earn up to $250 a week. Now
Bring it
really
on.
Only Tony can do that. I mean, let's not kid ourselves that anyone else is going to expect to do that. That's sort of Tony's target is $250, and anything less than that, he's going to be disappointed. We know that. That's the sort of added value he's expecting. But yeah, 10 players every week. So obviously, if players can play and if they're not registered for the leaderboard, they'll still earn the points for each tournament, but they won't be included in the leaderboard. So basically, we will guarantee that 10 players every week, apart from the first one where it's going to be everybody, will get their points turned into $T. So it might be, I don't know, it could be that somebody only gets 10 points or something like that. That's enough to get them in the top 10. Well, they'll get an extra $10 into the bankroll the following week. So fantastic. It's an absolute no-brainer. It's a bit of carnage going on here. Ace King versus Ace King, first of all, which is Mrs. Eddie against Gardu, which is Mark Winsell. On the other table, we've got sixes versus Ace Queen versus tens, and the Ace Queen has just bust 2 players. The sixes and the tens have gone. So we've lost. Wow. Let's see who we just very quickly lost there. We lost Acer and we lost Brand Freeman there as well. So we're down to 10 now. So we're getting very close to the final table. In the PLO, we are down to 19 players now. And Rack 'em Up Keith is currently chip leader.
Nice.
In that one.
Leigh, while you were promising to give some money away, we also lost Amy there in against 8 with, or ended up against Waza.
Yeah, so Amy finished in 13th. So just before, just after Ben, who we caught busting in 14th. So yeah, we're getting close to this final table now. But it is a loaded final table. It's going to be because we've got, say, Joe Dunlop on here. Warren is still there. Guy is still there. Mark Winstall. We mentioned Eddie's other half. Naz is still there as well. Alan Ellis is there, as is Leigh Wyatt. So still stacks of players as Leigh is all in here and has hit the jack. Am I going to get across there in time? Yeah, I am. And Leigh's going to get a double up through Warren. Leigh was the short stack, so he only had about 4 bigs before that hand. So yeah, he's going to get a double up.
That was the equivalent of a breakaway goal, which Leigh will be very familiar with from the last week. Asa says, duh, with regards to his sixes against that ace queen that we just saw. And Tall Paul, another name from the past. I remember Tall Paul, 75. What do points make? There's an obvious answer for that. Prizes. Prizes, Tall Paul.
Yeah,
prizes.
Absolutely. So yeah, so looking forward to that. So well worth playing. And you're not going to even need to play them all. I mean, it's going to be it's similar to most of our leaderboards. You know, if you can get in and play couple of days a week maybe and get yourself in 1 or 2 top 10s or whatever, then I think you'll pick up enough points to get involved in the added value, that's for sure. So and pick your games as well. There's No Limit Hold'em, there's PLO, there's short deck, and there's bounty variants of that. There's 6 max, 8 max, so say pick the games that suit your style of play, or pick the ones where there's not many runners.
What day of the week?
That's another strategy to play. Yeah.
How many do they need to run?
6, and they'll start.
Oh, they'll be safe.
So yeah.
Any stud, Leigh? Any stud?
No stud, unfortunately. No, we are a little bit limited on some of the variants, but yeah, we're pretty much showcasing everything that GG has got to offer at the moment. So. Yeah.
Leigh, what day of the week do the leaderboards finish?
Because it runs Monday to Friday, so yeah, midweek.
So Friday night is
we'll be
finito.
We'll be done by Friday night, and we will. We'll do as we normally do is we'll update the leaderboards either on the night or first thing the following morning. And Leigh is all in with ace jack. He's ahead of the king queen, but Warren's hit the king. Leigh fires back with an ace, needs to avoid a diamond, and is going to do so. So Leigh's going to get another double up through Warren, and Warren's gone from kind of one of the top 3 chips now to probably the short stack, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
there's a slightly shorter stack on his table.
Same table there.
Oh well, Naz is because Naz has just gone through the blinds. Yeah, so yeah. Yeah, so these guys now down to 5 bigs. Are they going to make it onto this final table or not? We will see. I can't believe there's still international football going on. It feels like clubs are like coming back for pre-season soon, aren't they?
The Premier League fixtures came out, didn't they? And the league fixtures are out next week, and England are playing Macedonia on Monday. And
so Ireland played obviously on Friday yesterday, same as England. They're playing on Monday as well. They got a game in July. I mean, what?
Have they really?
They've got a game in July.
I'm amazed England called up Grealish. Looking at the fixtures that England had, was it Malta, and who have you got in your next one?
North Macedonia.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm amazed they didn't just say to the City players, just go and have a summer. It just seems absolutely insane. Because obviously because they were hanging on for playing the Champions League final, it just seems absolutely nuts. And I'm just not sure Grealish had sobered up to even be, I see he didn't bring him on, but he was on the bench. But
lots of people having a go at the lad for obviously having several big nights out. But
I don't have an issue with it at all.
Enjoy
it.
it.
Crikey.
He's
How
entitled
often?
to it.
There's only, if you think about it, there's only the United team of '99 that had done that before.
Yeah,
it might be that another team doesn't do that for another 20, 30, 40, 50
but even
years.
if they hadn't done the treble, Leigh, even in just in winning a Champions League, it's such a big thing to win. It's unfair to expect him to not celebrate that in the way that he wants.
Aces for the chip leader. And unfortunately, Alan's Kings have run into the aces of the chip leader.
Unlucky Alan.
And I'm not sure whether a ha-ha is quite appropriate. But,
we're all now anti-railing broken toy.
Well, I'm going to assume he's laughing at Alan's username, right, which he might not have fully noticed before. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt.
But we do have a final table, so I'm going to just say switch that across, and we'll bring up the final table now as soon as it's there we go. Here we go then. So this is our final table. Yeah.
Superb. There we go. Let's do it. Let's bring it home. So who's
So,
your money on, guys? Come on, Leigh. Let's have a pick each.
I mean, it's tough not to say broken toy with that sort of stack. It's just an obscene chip lead with 8 players remaining.
Listen, Leigh, I appreciate where you're coming from, but I'm going for Leigh Wyatt.
I'll tell you actually who I think still could do so. Well, Dr. Lucky, I think.
I was going to say, Dr. Lucky, it's been a bit of a roller coaster already, so there's no reason.
I mean, what I would say is if we lose 3 players and it's not Naz, and then he's playing 5-handed, then I think he could win it because he's got form with when it's short stacks, handed. So it could well be that he could do that.
Let's keep an eye on these ones, guys. The chat box is going. Wayne says Nosy P waiting for Raz. Let's hope it comes soon. Gotta like this. AC Pasp says I love women. Good man. Joe Dunlop lol was looking for the unlucky. Indeed. Jack Sanderson, let's go broken toy. Steve says Jack is a superstar. Party on. Maybe Southgate. Just Mr. Grumpy. Sort of came across a little bit that he was Mr. Grumpy, I have to say. And Wazza says, go Mrs. Eddie. So who is Mrs. Eddie again? Which username?
Ducatidi. Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah.
But just meanwhile, in other news, you are sat down, Des, yeah?
I am.
Yeah. Chip leader in the PLO is not GOAT.
Oh, sweet Jesus. Oh, we knew it, didn't we? We knew it. The only thing that's wrong there is that he should be the one wearing a mask.
So, and he's just won another hand there against Limp Bizkit.
Oh, he's a pro, isn't he?
So
Check Lee. Is he a pro, Lee? Maybe he's a pro.
Adding to his stack. So we'll keep an eye on that one as well. So Tom, not the GOAT Brady, is chip leader in the PLO with 16 players left. We're playing top 11 in that. So once we finish watching this No Limit Hold'em, we will head over there and absolutely rip his PLO player apart.
We'll anti-rail him. We'll anti-rail him. That's what we'll do. We'll balk big style. We should say, Leigh, for anybody that doesn't know, of course, Tom, a previous IPO winner, and he hit the final table of the Irish Open one year as chip leader. Didn't get there in the end, but final table as chip leader. Pretty decent player, Tom.
Not at PLO, he didn't.
Not in PLO, no, but he clearly knows the game.
Yeah, no, he's done very well there. Obviously, he's super late regged with rebuy and an add-on, but other than that, he's looking in good shape. To be honest, he's got over 1 million chips. He won't know what to do with them all. Honestly,
they're all going to be sloshing around in the back of the van, Leigh.
Go on, Doctor.
So Dr. Lucky all in. Trouble is with that sort of 10 bigs stack there, Paul, there's not many players that can just openly call that off. Broken Toy is about the only one really, because Guy at 25 bigs and VA2G20 25 bigs, the rest of them just aren't going to get involved, are they?
Yeah, he knows he's going to get called off pretty light by, well, depending on what Eddie's wife's style is like, but with 5 bigs, he's going to get called off there quite a lot. But no, apart from that, he can make a decent dent for most of the players on his left. The big stack is obviously opposite side of the table. So he's in a reasonable spot.
Do we? I'm just wondering, is Mrs. Eddie called Di?
Well, I've been calling it Ducati Di from the start. You've been going with Ducati D, and I'm pretty sure because he rides motorbikes, right? So I think that's Ducati Di. I would have thought.
We'll go Ducati Di then, shall we? Yeah. Okay. That sounds.
Just need to keep an eye on Joey Dunlop now. I think Eddie needs to be a bit careful with him.
Yeah. Absolutely. Who's doing the right thing here with stack size is just get involved in a lot of pots, yeah. But lowballing it.
Is that who Broken Toy is? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So Joe in the chat says, "Yep, she is died."
And rides Ducatis, and presumably Eddie. Anyway, sorry. I did say I've been drinking since 10:30 a.m.
Saturday night, folks. Yeah.
Just like to apologise to the viewers.
and yet it's
slip.
You, and yet it's you that's been cancelled by the looks of your blank screen.
I'm just hiding my embarrassment for the comment that I was almost certain was going to come. No pun intended.
Oh, dear.
That's worse.
To be fair, we did have the we did have the kind of the level set set just about right at the first one of these Saturday night shows that we did when we did it live from Joe's house. So yeah, I think we're in a good place. Yeah, we're in a good place.
I don't think that one comment is the most shameful thing that's happened on the APAT show. That's you.
I don't know. It's had a reaction from you. Perhaps it might be. Tall Paul says rigged. Are you playing, Paul?
Can confirm I am not Tall Paul.
not you, sir. And the penguin is out there past the watershed, he said. Quite right.
See, I just put it out there to see if people were listening, and turns out, yes they are.
Yeah. Do you know, sometimes we do that. We think, oh, no one's really paying attention. Then you say something, and then all of a sudden, yeah, the chat box just goes absolutely crazy.
Fantastic. Gotta love it.
All you got to do is tell someone they're adopted, and all of a sudden everyone's listening.
Oh dear.
That's a cracker.
I might have to manage your expectations. I may not make it if you're going to stick with this right the way to the very end. I may leave you to it before we get down to heads up.
Does he have that in his contract, Leigh? The right to walk away? Just
I insist on that on every contract.
After what
has he eaten all of the grapes, Leigh?
To be honest, after what he just said, I think he probably is entitled to walk away to drop his mic and walk away whenever he sees fit. Yeah,
cancelled. There it is.
Fantastic. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh,
so on we go. Still 8 players remaining. So these guys now have all locked up $80. Say $520 up top. 400 for second, 305 for third. So say lots of decent money in our medal positions here. So and Eddie found the funny side of it. So you're okay.
Thank God.
That's all that matters.
Yeah. His wife's strangely quiet though. No.
APAT gets to live another year.
Yeah, the rest of the community might want to cancel you, but Eddie's okay with it. So, and that's what matters. So.
If Eddie's happy, I'm happy.
Yeah, Eddie's always happy. I've never known a happier guy, especially around poker. He's
yeah.
And Di is all in under the gun for her remaining 3.6 bigs. Is going to get called by Leigh Wyatt. I think Dr. Lucky's going to get out of the way. So here we go. Di at risk here. Is pocket threes against ace jack, fully racing here. Jack on the flop is not going to do much. Needs to be a 3 and only a 3. And it's the wrong color.
That's not going to work.
That's not going to work at all. So we're going to lose Di in 8th place, picking up $80. Very well done.
Good
cracking
effort.
run. Yeah, very good indeed. And we're down to 7. And Leigh Wyatt, there's your pick, is now second in chips, and is applying a bit of momentum just at the right time. And on we'll go. What we got left in the 15 left in the PLO, and not Goat is still chip leader in that. Quite know how. Yeah.
Who's playing it for him?
I love the way
he has people for that kind of thing. So
quite right, staff. I love the way Eddie says, "Well played, Di." He's probably like sat with her on the couch.
Hope so on a Saturday night. Careful not to say anything that's inappropriate. Yeah.
Well, you did say Eddie Poker, and I had to turn my camera off for that one. Well played, Di, says Kev O'Hanlon. Good man.
I don't know whether have we seen Di play any live events or not. I'm not sure whether she has, Eddie, or whether she's coming along to play an APAT event. But it'd be great to see. Obviously plays the game, so it'll be good to see a live event at some point. No, Eddie supports a lot of the APAT games that we play. So
she doesn't want his help.
That's fair enough.
Quite
Goliath
right.
would be a good one to bring it to.
Yeah, very much so.
All round to mine, 10 minutes up the road from there.
Yeah, so I mean, you've got a good spot there, haven't you? Really. So obviously, there's a huge. I think I showed last week on the stream the schedule for Goliath, and it's just huge. Mm-hmm. So many events, but plus obviously all of the flights into the actual Goliath main event. But actually, the side event structure schedule what they've got there is just phenomenal.
And then because they put a proper GUKPT main in the first weekend, that's going to attract all the big boys as well. Because now I remember last time I was at I played something called the Super High Roller at the Goliath, which was like 350 or 530 or something like that. Whereas now the High Roller is like 3.5. So it's a proper schedule.
Yeah. And then they'll all finish playing that, and we'll be straight down to London for the WSOP Super Circuit event, which again is ridiculous. It's got a mystery bounty, a £500 mystery bounty in it with £1 million guaranteed. It's then got a circuit main event, which is £1,000 buy-in, which is £1 million guaranteed, and then it's got a super circuit main event, which is a £3,000 buy-in that's £3 million guaranteed.
Wow.
Plus then a load of other side events at the Grosvenor Hotel. It's going to be it's a cashless festival, the WSOP one. So everything will be through Luxon Pay and GG. So which is going to be just phenomenal.
Good work, Rob.
Yeah, so absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, I don't know how we missed this, guys, but Di went deep at one of the side events at Aspers. So
okay, brilliant.
Di's certainly a live player.
Awesome.
Joe says she could give you lessons, Eddie. Eddie says he played on his own, loves the banter. And Kev just confirms she played at Aspers. Although, how would you know, Kev? Because you left. Did we get Kev's buy-in at Aspers?
I hope so. I don't think we certainly didn't refund it for him.
No, he left really quickly.
Yeah, Dr. Lucky's going to bust. King Queen, not good against the A6 of Broken Toy of Joe.
I've successfully boxed Dr. Lucky, and now I'm going to bed. So
and we're now 5-handed. So are you off then, Paul?
Yeah, I'm going to leave you to it if that's all right.
Lovely. Well,
thank
brilliant.
You, Paul.
Cheers for joining, Paul. Glad you had a good day at the cricket as well, and we will catch you soon, my friend.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Take care. Cheers, everyone.
Cool.
Night.
So we are down to 5 then, and this is where Naz really gets going, and he's already all in. Once he's 5-handed, Des, you cannot stop this guy. Now we've got short-handed. This is Naz coming into his own. Is Guy going to make the call here? Broken Toy's already got the way, Joe. It's half of Guy's stack if he makes the. Oh, it's only another 4.6 big, so it's about a third of his stack actually. So here we go.
So what's his range here, Leigh?
Well, he's made the call. Naz has got 10s. He's against deuces.
Nice. Take your 10s.
Here we go. Well, just needs to avoid a spade now.
Spade or a deuce.
10 was nice. 10 was nice, but needs to avoid a
of course, the 10's out there.
Spade, yeah, needs to avoid the spade, and he does. So Naz gets a double up, and all of a sudden has gone from kind of the short stack at the table to not far off the second and third chips. Yeah, Yeah, this is on now. This is very much is. That's a tough one for Guy, to be honest, with the deuces.
Big call
again. Yeah, Joe raising pre again there, which is pretty much done. With his stack size is just absolutely constantly going at this, and but actually seems to be playing able to kind of tighten up, and is not certainly giving away chips. Joe isn't broken toy. Because Guy's re-shoved there, just got out of the way. So he's trying to scoop up as much as he can, but he's not going to give away his chip lead easily. And we're down to 14 in the PLO now. And he's going to call Leigh's shove here. Ace Queen against Ace 7. Ace Queen at risk. Wow, there's a flop. There's chop options here, but also ways that Joe can win this. That's not going to be one of them, though.
Big double.
So double up for Leigh Wyatt. Ace Queen against Ace 7. And all of a sudden that brings Joe Dunlop back into the pack a little bit now.
It does. And the irons, Leigh, in the fire.
Huge or big old hand in the PLO that Tom's involved in, and he was good right until the river. And ace on the river means Alan Ellis gets a double up through Tom in the PLO. So so Joe's gone at it with Leigh in the last hand, and is now chasing the other bigger stack on this final table, and is going to give some chips that way as well, I think. Yeah. Flopped a 7, but it was up against King Queen that flopped top pair.
Well, the only thing you'd say, Leigh, is he could afford it. I mean, he's still our chip leader, still pretty comfortable. But you don't want to do it too often, I guess.
No, exactly. Still in the PLO, just looking at some names I recognise there. Rhubarb 10 is in the PLO, which that'll be Andrew Jones. Andrew Jones.
Andrew Jones. Yeah. Who won an APAT Live event, I want to say, crikey, maybe 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
It'll be one of those.
Yeah, so 13 left in that. And we are, down to 5 here now. So these guys have now locked up $180. I think these are great. Our championship tournaments now are absolutely fantastic. This one started at 7 o'clock. So it's been running now for just 4.25 hours. We're down to the final 5. So it'll be done probably sometime just after between midnight and 12:30 on a Saturday night, which means it's a great structure.
And a bunch of people in the chat, good atmosphere, good laugh. Fantastic. Love it.
So Trist, when we're talking about the WSOP, he says he's seen the online day for the circuit event on GG. So,
and Kev, of course, remembering when he did have his problem at Aspers, how thankful are we that somebody sharp at Aspers was able to step in there quickly. And Kev, we hope you're well, my friend.
Yeah, so they've already got satellites running for the London event from £5, I think, by the looks of it.
That's going to be spectacular.
I think the first one starts tomorrow at 2 o'clock, which is guaranteeing. It's got a prize of £120 in it, so I'm not sure what the steps are going to be. Let me see if I can see what it's going to be. Oh, so they're doing it's a £5 into a 40. Which is then going to go up into something else as well. So okay, so it's a £5 into a 40 into a 360, and then that'll put you into the online version of that. So nice.
Wayne is out there. Poker and Rocky 3, he says, heaven. And I think it's died, Leigh. Great game, great banter, and yes, I do ride a Ducati. Was going to change my name to Mrs. Eddie, but I think he should change his to Mr. Di. And I think you're absolutely right, Di. Good job. Kev says, very well, Des, thanks. That is super good to hear. And I'm sure we'll see Kev in August in Nottingham for the big one, Leigh.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, you won't want to miss that. Exactly, down to 5 then. And say for those of you who might just be tuning in, hopefully tomorrow night on the show, because we will do a show tomorrow night. We'll have a little bit of news on the exact schedule for the Worlds. That's all been finalised now, so we're just making it look pretty, and it'll be out for you guys to see. So really looking forward to that. It'll be 6 cracking days.
Fantastic.
At Dusk Till Dawn. Yeah, can't wait.
Can't believe we're doing a 4-day 8 game, Leigh. Amazing.
Yeah, it's just it's just phenomenal, isn't it? It's frustrating we've had to make it self-dealt, but but hey,
£2,000 buy-in, but hey.
Yeah, but we've managed to negotiate a free buffet, so I think that's a good thing. It's what the players want, really, isn't it? That's what you got to look at. It's what they're interested in.
Leigh, Kev says, and we'll be at Coventry before then. Of course you will. That is awesome. Mr. 40 says, Aspers is amazing. It walked out of the club at 4 a.m. Ironside was still inside waiting for his breakfast. He might still be there, Leigh. He might still be there, Ironside.
Could well be. Are we saying there's a breakfast going spare?
By all accounts. And we know Ironside likes a breakfast. I queued for a burger. The 2 girls dressed not a lot in front of me had a fight. So I was next in the queue. Basically, that just sounds like a great night. That just sounds like the perfect way to finish.
Can't go wrong with that. Well, I know there's going to be plenty of players that we're going to see. Say, I will be up in Coventry for the 2 days for the event at the Goliath, and then doing all 6 days at Nottingham, and then I'll be in Cardiff in September.
Yeah,
for the Welsh Championship. So loads to look forward to.
Hell of a lot coming up. It's a big season. Get your hearts out here, Leigh.
Ace 5 versus Naz is 8-7. He's got options to hit. Needs to be a heart, and he's going to get there.
Way. It is a heart.
He's going to get there. It is a heart. Naz is going to get a double up.
Wow.
Through VA2G20. Absolutely
right.
And this is now really kind of leveled it out. That puts Naz second in chips now. So Joe Dunlop is still our chip leader. Naz second, Lee Wyatt third. Guy is now all in, who's our short stack, but not by a huge amount, to be honest. He's got 9.6 bigs against a player in fourth who's got 11. Joe's going to make the call here with King Queen. 5's at risk. That's a great flop for Guy. That's exactly what you want to see. And Joe's drawing dead there. And he had a decent chip lead, but it's kind of just not really gone his way with some of these hands. And he's doubled up Leigh, and then he doubled up player to his left, and now he's doubled up Guy.
He's got a second half of the final table to go yet, Leigh. It might switch.
Oh, of course he has. Yeah, it can because he's not actually done it. He's not really done a huge amount wrong in his play here on this final table. He's just got very unlucky in the showdown hands. Really has.
Barry's out there showing a bit of support for one of his boys, Joe and Naz, both Coldstream PKO members. Let's go, boys! And what a great job Barry and just that group have done, right, for Coldstream. Loved what they did this summer. Getting so many players over to Vegas was fantastic, and they wear it. They wear it on their heart. I have to say, their heart on their sleeves. Those boys. So glad to see them doing well.
So Simon in the chat saying, "Don't tease me." Well, we're planning. We're putting on a special horse game for you, Simon. Where we're shipping in players from Florida, only over the age of 90 for you, so you'll feel right at home in playing these games. We know how much you enjoy that. And having heard your and Ian's experience, we're also going to run a blackjack tournament because we clearly know that's going to be your best way of picking up gold. So we'll look to do that.
I know you think he was referring to the 4-day, 8-game Leigh, but I think he was referring to the girls fighting in that Aspers queue.
Oh, that's what you reckon?
I think so. I think it's at least 50-50.
Yeah, no, there is that possibility. That could be the case. Yeah.
How's the GOAT doing, or not the GOAT? Leigh, is he still
not the GOAT? He's pretty much. There's two of them that have got pretty much identical stacks. Him and Rack 'em Up Keith. So they're both still, the two chip leaders. They're 12 left now, so they're playing hand for hand on the money bubble in the PLO.
OZP still in that. Red Chris still going as well. Bit short, getting a bit short now though, Leigh. 10 blinds, but you say 10 blinds is plenty in PLO.
Yeah, well, we've always said that when we're watching PLO, the players can go down to 5, 6, 7 blinds without any problem whatsoever. So I think we might just be bust. Let's have a look which way that's going. Oh no, it's not. It's a double up for Limp Bizkit in that through Rack 'em Up Keith. So that's going to put not GOAT very much back in the chip lead.
Fantastic.
Big old pot going on here between Leigh and Joe. 10 bigs in the middle, and they've Leigh's got 15 behind, Joe's got 20. So Joe ships it on the turn, and it's going to get that through. So it's going to take the chip lead back.
Yeah.
It is starting to get a little bit shallow again now. So 5 players left. Average stack is now 20 bigs. So you're kind of feeling like we're gonna bust somebody here. Feel for Chris. He was chip leader at one point in that PLO.
But it can bounce back. You're still in. It'd be nice to make a final. Get some goodies.
I certainly think on the final of this No Limit Hold'em, we are going to be dishing out quite a few $55 tickets. Looking at the names I can see there.
Super.
So
fantastic.
Well done to all of you that made the final table. And hopefully put your names into the top 10 registration for the new leaderboard starting next week. Whether you choose to play that or not, that was your way of being able to get the added value for these events this weekend. So hopefully you all did that. Because I can recognise quite a few names that I know are on the list and have done that. So, and Simon says either cap fits. So quite happy to whether it's fighting in the queues or 4-day 8 game, he'll take either. What he won't take is mini golf. We're not even going there this year. We're not even going there this year.
There's a time and a place, Leigh, and evidently neither could be found last year.
It's a disaster last year. We're not prepared to, Simon and I built it thinking, build it and the people will come, and no, they just didn't happen. So we will, I don't think we're even going to have time, to be honest. If you saw the schedule, we're not going to have time for anything other than poker.
I'll tell you what, Leigh, if you made it a bracelet event, people would turn up. I'm telling you now.
They probably would. Yeah, that's true. That is true. So Joe doing what he's been doing even when he was kind of even though he's still now only just chip leader, he's still doing the little kind of min raise and getting involved in lots of hands here. As VA2G20 shoves the remaining 7.8 bigs. Very difficult for Naz or Leigh to call here. They're out the blinds, Des, isn't it, with their stack size? But Leigh does make a call, so he's going to have something decent, I reckon. There, 9s, yeah, I can understand that. 9s against King 8. Leigh needs to avoid a king, and we'll be down to 4. Red looks good, because if it's red, it can't be a king.
Nice answer.
And so, we're going to be down to 4. So we've got Joe Dunlop, we've got Lee Wyatt, Guy Gullen, and Naz Mohammed left. So well done, good luck to the 4 of you guys. One of you is going to miss out on the medal, unfortunately. But
Leigh, everyone's a winner. Everyone's a winner,
not
baby.
Being funny. He hates us anyway. You are not helping the situation.
But
really
it's
are.
just, I mean, finishing second in an APAT National is brilliant. The only reason that we're using the image is because he looks sad, right? And
He accused me of calling a hand in for one of his opponents, a Cardiff, one of his opponents last week, and I was like, no, I was just telling the people at home what was needed for it to change. But yeah, he was properly in the zone. He was properly in the zone with his final table play and thoroughly enjoyed himself. And it was good banter on those last couple of tables last week in Edinburgh. It really, really was.
You know I'm going to use it again, don't you?
Oh yeah, I know you are. Yeah. I don't think he watches the show, so we're okay. So it'll be fine.
Fantastic. So Naz says we played mini golf. It was amazing. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's great once you get out there, but there were so many headaches and late nights and stuff like that. Trish said, lol, I loved the card calling comment. It was special, but you know what it's like, right?
Yeah.
It's emotional, and it's easy to misinterpret stuff. I mean,
of course it is.
Yeah. This is a bit serious. Leigh, Steve says, what's your view on Mason Greenwood playing next season for Man U?
What's my view?
Might not play, but he's been retained in the squad, right?
Yeah, he's been retained in the squad. Obviously, things have moved on a bit with the whole situation. I suppose you've got to go on the basis that the whether it's justice system, whatever you want to call it, the process has been worked through. He's. Am I right in saying he's back with the girl or the person that all this kind of had brought it up in the first place, and she's now pregnant. They're having a kid or something. I thought I read that somewhere, and I mean the whole thing just seems an absolute a bit of a mess. But ultimately, I suppose everyone's got to move on from it. And if they're all trying to move on, then so be it. And the club are still making a decision on whether they feel he's actually brought the club into disrepute and broken his contract, and they'll ultimately make that decision as to whether they do that, because I guess he's still got some value to the club as well. And whether you like it or not, financially, that comes into it. I don't believe that we're not missing anything, by the way, that we're on 5 to the hour on the break. So it could well be that, they're looking and going, well, okay, we can get a bit of value. There could be a club somewhere that says, well, yeah, they'll happily pay a fee for him. And if he's not playing in this country, it might just be far enough away that he can get on and have some sort of football career. Because I suppose he was found, well, I don't think he was found innocent as such, but everything was dropped. So there isn't a case to, for him to have to prove one way or the other. So
there isn't a legal case, but unfortunately for the lad,
but there's a moral. There's a moral thing there. There was a lot of
evidence, right?
There was a lot of but there was a lot of evidence, I suppose, that everybody jumped on and just went, okay, well, that's what it must be then. Whereas everybody's entitled to that being found one way or the other, but that's now not happened. So
I don't recall anyone. I don't recall anyone, the player, the club. I don't recall anyone sort of saying that was fabricated or misinterpreted.
No. I don't
think any of that.
But the problem is that at the time, I think when we were talking about it back when it came out, it's like, just throw the book at him. We don't want him playing for the club anymore. Now everything's been dropped, and it seems like he's trying to get on with his life, and she's trying to get on with her life. You kind of go, well, what? I don't even know what is. I can't work out what is the right thing to do or what feels the right thing to do. I'm not sure.
I'd like to think from the club's point of view that if they haven't taken action, it's because legally maybe they're not able to take action. The player could maybe sue them for the remainder of his contract or whatever.
Well, I would imagine
right?
that's
probably
kind of the thing.
That.
Yeah, because I think I made that point a little while ago. I said, it's if you're not found to have broken the law and you're not to have necessarily done anything wrong, it's very tough for somebody to be judgmental on you and make decisions on your career and your ability to earn money and your ability to, when if there isn't a case to prove, whether we all feel that actually, that clearly, morally there is something wrong with it. It's a real tough one. It really, really is. So Naz in the chat saying international field as always. The pesky Russians coming in and playing these tournaments, honestly.
Yeah, Jack is saying, don't think it's a good idea for him to play football in England anymore, regardless of charges.
I think if he wants to try and have some sort of football career, I think it might make more sense that he just does that elsewhere. But it's a tough one. I mean, because our argument is then, well, what happens if say he goes and plays in another country and absolutely sets the world, like, banging goals in left, right, and centre. Does Southgate then have a decision to make as to whether he's, is the public opinion, well, he can't play for England again? Because of what? I mean, where does it? Where does it stop with it? It's a really difficult one.
Yeah, I mean, I can't
sorry, Naz is talking about the mini golf. Okay, fine, fair enough.
Here we go. We're
back to the important. Yeah, back to the important things. Yeah, we're talking mini golf rather than poker. Quite rightly too. This is the APAT show. We try not to talk about poker if we can help it. Far more interesting things to go on about. We are one off the money in the PLO still, so they're still playing hand for hand in that. There's 12 of them remaining, and we're down to the final 4 now of the Scottish Online No Limit Hold'em Freeze Out Championship, and that's what we're watching.
So I
chip leader is now Leigh Wyatt, which was your pick when we were 8 out, Des.
Listen, Leigh, yeah. I will tell you now. We won't often have had a final 4 who are such a decent bunch of blokes, right? 4 decent lads.
You've met these guys. You have met these guys, yeah?
Yeah. 4 decent lads up there.
But now you know one of them is Naz, yeah?
Yeah, decent bloke.
Okay,
decent
right,
bloke,
okay,
like
fine,
Naz,
okay, right,
like
okay,
Naz.
Fair enough. Yeah, okay, all right.
Apparently he's the defending champ in the mini golf league. Who knew?
Well, yeah. He's of an age now where he gets cheap train tickets. Did you know that?
I can't believe it. Yeah. He still looks about like 24.
I know. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I was shocked. Absolutely shocked. So Leigh and Joe going to see a flop here. Queen 10, Jack, something for everybody there. 5 bigs in the middle, but so they're both playing about low 20s behind. So it is quite shallow here now. I think average stacks 21 bigs.
They've both shown that they're happy to get their chips in as well, Leigh. They don't have to be super strong. They're decisive. That's a bit fruity now. Yeah,
a little bit from Leigh, and he's going to take that one down. So on we go. But say Guy's very much back in this now, and Naz is still there as well. I mean, say Naz is it's wrong to even call him the short stack, to be honest, on 16 bigs with average stack at 21. They're all. This could be any of them.
Well, one double for any of them, and you're back as chip leader.
Yeah. And speaking of chip leaders, Not Goat is still chip leader in the PLO.
25 blind.
A game that he doesn't know how to play. I mean, this is what's incredible. No. Absolutely incredible.
Have we checked to see whether he's got access to the lever all the way down there in the
exactly.
on the south coast?
Actually, Joachim's is in that still as well. He had a good run in the PLO last night, the PLO Bounty as well. So he's looking for kind of back-to-back PLO final tables over the weekend, which is pretty impressive.
Playing as?
He's Sharky.
Sharky, that's normally well taken. Sharky, we've had a few Sharkies over the year.
Yeah. I'm amazed nobody's because I haven't taken my normal screen name on GG. I was half expecting someone was going to be thought it'd be really amusing to take my usual screen name.
Do you know what my screen name is, Leigh?
What, on GG? I've no idea. I don't think I've seen you play yet on GG.
I played a little bit, not much. APAT. What else would it be?
Oh, really?
Of course, we.
Excellent. I thought you were going to say it was D-Negs or something like that.
D-Negs, no. Well, listen, talking about D-Negs, Steve says, I'm loving the D-Negs V-blogs for WSAP. Is he the best known poker player at the moment? He must be the GOAT. I'm not sure. He's having a tough World Series, isn't he? On top of
he's having another tough World Series. So as much as he's putting a lot of content out at the moment, he's not really having setting the world alight, is he? From a a results point of view. I think he's had a couple of min cashes, and that's been about it, really.
Yeah, I would turn your attention to the Coldstream V blogs. Those guys, they were making it happen.
Yeah, and it's all right being putting content out there. I mean, Helmuth is another one that's seems to be having a good time, but he's again struggling results wise.
I would love to see a Helmuth, a Dean Eggs deep run in the main.
I think it would be good. I think it would be good for poker. Yeah, I do think it would be good because when you're seeing, I mean, I've seen it this week. It's, you know, X player wins their 5th bracelet, and I'm going, who? Don't even know who you are. Never heard of you.
Was it Osmos?
Yeah. And it's just players that whoosh, you know, pass me by. I don't really, you know. Lee raises it up, and Joe shoves, and Lee's made the call. It's 9s versus 8s.
Oh yeah.
The 9s are at risk, and Lee's flopped an 8.
Oh my word!
Needs to avoid a spade. It's red, and that's going to be good. And we're going to lose Joe, and that's a horrible hand. Blind on blind. So Joe Dunlop is going to depart in 4th place, picking up $234. And folks, we have our 3 medalists in the Scottish No Limit Hold'em Championship. Chip leader now is Lee Wyatt, who has got a significant chunk of the chips in play. He's comfortably got the other 2 covered together. So we'll see how quickly now Guy and Naz decide to get busy.
Wow, that's tough for Joe because he he's led a long way.
He was a huge chip leader coming. Yeah, and as I said earlier on, I don't really feel did a huge amount wrong on that final table. You saw the hands that he was taking to showdown, and they all just made perfect sense. And he just was the wrong side of pretty much everything.
Came to play.
Yeah.
Good job, Joe. Unlucky there, missing out on a medal. Well done to the 3 that remain. Lee, wow. What a week. 10 days, eh?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see if he can take this home now. And we're still 12 on the PLO, just in case you you're not missing anything. But the average stack is dropping down there quite quickly. It's down to 14 bigs now, the average stack in the PLO. Whilst they've been playing hand for hand for what feels like about half an hour. Nobody wants to bust it. Thing is, for Lee, it's difficult here now. Ideally, if he busts, funnily, if this is a similar situation to how the final table played last weekend. Do you remember, Des? So when Dave Kingswell had a decent chip lead, and we said, well, if he can bust one of the other 2, he then has a dominant chip lead going into the heads up.
Yeah.
But actually, that isn't how it kind of played out, because the other 2 got involved, and one bust the other, and then it closed it in on that heads up. And this is a very similar situation here now, because if Naz or Guy busts each other, all of a sudden they've got sort of like 26, 27 bigs compared to Lee's 35. That's a competitive heads up. Whereas if Lee busts one of them, well, it's a massive
I often think
chip lead.
What can look like a massive chip lead 5 or 6 out, right? Even if in the same ratio when you get to 3, can change super quickly because you are involved in more hands. You are more likely to be put to decisions and to try and pressure players incorrectly and stuff like that. And often it just takes 1 or 2 hands to go wrong, and suddenly you've lost the momentum of the thing entirely.
Yeah.
Joe says, thanks, guys. Good game. Well done, Joe. Barry says, well played. Jay Dunlop. Joe says, I think he's talking about Dean Eggs now, 97th in the Player of the Year race at the moment. Kev says, I thought it might be Ben's dad. I've lost that one. He must be looking at usernames or something. I'm not sure, or pictures or something. Quite
possibly, yeah. So well done to Joe. He's picked up $234 plus. He's also going to pick up a $55 Global Millions ticket as well, because he was registered up for the top 10 leaderboard So you're very much on the list, Joe. So you will get that extra added value as well. So well done. As will all three of these remaining guys as well.
Good guys. And remember, if you want a bit of a freebie, Thursday nights at 6 p.m, you got the True Geordie free roll.
Do I need to cover my ears?
400 players in it last week, Leigh, from what I hear. Added value
Yeah.
there. Yes, cover your ears, everyone. Here we go. Oh, there we go. Boom.
So yeah, if you want to get involved in that, Brian goes live. I think at 5 o'clock. I think the free roll starts at 6. There's late reg for about an hour. There's $1,000 T added into the free roll. There's $1 re-entries on it as well, and I think there's an add-on as well. So if you do bust and you want to have another go, you can do that. There's also a bounty on his head. So if you bust Brian True Geordie, I think there's $100, and he'll re-enter as well. So I think that's available every time until he doesn't until he's properly bust from it as well. And they're on his podcast, and they have a chat about things going on, and you can get involved in the chat with it and play the free roll.
And if you're into football and stuff like that, he's a Newcastle fan, but they talk about all the games. It's worth.
And it is UK and Ireland players only on that particular free roll, guys. Just so you're aware. So it's not an APAT event. It's True Geordie and GG Poker, but it is UK and Ireland only. But you've just got to look out for the password every week, which he posts up on his podcast. But I think it's been doing the rounds on socials as well, so it shouldn't be too difficult for you to find it. So,
I'm sure. And if
last week's was double down last week, so it shouldn't be too difficult to find. Yeah.
And if you scoop anything, guys, come back and tell us. Right, let us know. We'll give you a shout out.
Yeah.
Steve Tomo says, "Is there a password?" I think you've just addressed that, Leigh. Just addressed.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, and again, it's not something which we, because we're all. They've got a route for how you can get that password, and it's not difficult to do. It's just following them on his socials or popping in. I think he puts it on his podcast on a Wednesday or something like that. So the day before. So and it's fairly easy to track down, but we certainly wouldn't want to be just putting that out there, because in the same way, whenever we run these kind of things, last thing we want is just to freely put the password out to absolutely everybody and anybody. So we do the right thing by it.
Yeah, and we want you guys to be aware. So you might now have a tiny little bit of work to do to get in, but there's some value there. It's worth making the effort. What podcast?
And we don't mind because it's on a Thursday, because it's on a Thursday night, and we don't do the APAT show on a Thursday night, so we're okay with it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And hopefully we might we might well do a little tie up, and maybe Des is thinking of going on the True Geordie podcast.
I think so. I'm gonna wear my red shirt. I am absolutely going to do that, Leigh. So it'll be me and Andy Black that night on the True Geordie podcast. Can't wait.
Looking forward to it.
Cannot wait.
Looking forward to it. I mean, that's going to be Andy's 20th or 21st appearance on the show.
Few times.
Yeah. It's been on a while now, isn't he? Yeah.
Are you there, Andy? I'm in your ear, Des. Yeah. I'm in your ear. I'm looking deep into your brain, sir. Yeah. Please put the phone down.
Dear, oh dear. Gotta love it. So I am still hooked on the Anfield Road extension videos. I was up in Wales earlier on in the week. It was my mum's birthday, so I popped up to go out for dinner, and my younger brother, who's a Liverpool fan, was out there. And I said to him, this is really I'm a United fan, but I'm just loving the drone. And he said, "Oh, Mr. Drone." He said, "Mr. Drone." I said, "Yeah." He said, "Yeah, I've been watching them as well." He said they're just so cool. It's so good, and they've got so hooked on getting all the little information and snippets of what's going on. And
the minute they come out, Carl sends them to me. Right? I think I sent the last one. I forwarded it on to you. Did you see the bloke Kev? Shall we just call him Kev? Who was working on the stand for the builders, but a local Liverpool lad, middle-aged, what have you. But he's shot a couple of videos and put them up on the social, and he's got sacked. Got his cards. But
there's a lot of it's fascinating. I love the kind of the structural engineering and the civil engineering works, and I think I said to you about the Richard Hammond documentary series where they go behind the scenes at the new Tottenham Stadium, and say it's just incredible. And what they've done with that Liverpool stand to build it behind and then effectively
right?
Take down the existing bits that they needed to.
Well, I tell you what, Leigh,
and have it, and they'll have it all up and running for pretty much the second set of fixtures. It's just insane.
So if if you've enjoyed this process, go and YouTube the main stand development a couple of years prior, which was done in exactly the same way. It was built behind the previous main stand, and just the time lapse on it and stuff like that is just phenomenal.
There's a really interesting one that United released a little while ago, where they sent Ed Woodward up with some duct tape to basically repair the roof, and how they managed to make that work. The investment that went into that was
you're
phenomenal.
You're going to have all of this money now, right? You're going to have so much money. You're just going to be rolling in the money, rolling in the money. I mean, it's it's not great, but you've got it coming. It's coming, right?
That's
it's coming.
Well, that's if it. I don't know. That's if it happens. If it comes through. I mean, the thing with it is I think as United fans now, we do have a little bit of envy of some of the stadiums that are there now, because if you go roll back 10 years, 15 years, and we had the number one stadium in the Premier League, and we had invested. We filled in all the quadrants. They'd increased the north stand, increased the east and west stands, and we still got the largest capacity, and the stadium is still kind of fit for purpose. It's kind of doing what it needs to, albeit it's looking tired. When you now look at the Emirates, what the Etihad is doing, what you've done with your main stand, and you're now doing with the Anfield, and you're going to do with the COP as well.
Of course we will.
What the Tottenham's ground is looking like now, and what they've done in the money. As a United fans, we kind of go, well, we should have a better stand. But the cost of doing it will be obscene.
I tell you,
you see what Real Madrid are doing. You see what Barcelona. Somebody mentioned Barcelona earlier on.
Money.
What they're going to be doing. And phenomenal. But it's another investment, and I guess we're at a point where we were on that curve a lot earlier than a lot of the clubs in the Premier League, and now we've dropped down again, and we're going to have to go again, and then we will have the best stadium again in the league for a while until somebody else takes over again.
But it's not the club's fault that you ended up with owners that have basically just milked it for 10 years or however long.
No, of course,
they have just
not.
milked it.
I mean, how are Liverpool funding? So that Anfield Road extension is what, 90 million?
Cash loan from FSG effectively. Pay it back.
But it's debt. But it's debt, isn't it?
But it's not high interest debt, right? It's managed debt. So FSG aren't taking any dividends out, so they're not milking the club. Do you know? They've taken nothing.
No,
out.
but it's still debt. So interestingly, when you get fans talking about, well, United are in debt and these clubs are in, and it's like, so if we get an owner in, if it is Saudi or wherever it is, or whoever it might be, wherever it goes to, and they wipe all the debt at United, all of a sudden, we're just you're kind of in a it's a weird situation. I mean, but City runs at a loss. You will do a City.
You will do a City, Leigh. Do you remember Main Road, right? And suddenly it's the Etihad, and they've got a magnificent academy and training sort of platform.
I think around Old Trafford there's enough land there that's owned by the club that they'll just they could actually put a brand new stadium in, and then put a training or secondary stadium in and everything else. There's so much they can do as a campus kind of style with it. But we're still three-handed in the poker, and Leigh is still the chip leader, but
a little tighter.
A few more levels has gone on. It is really tight now. All of these three guys desperate on picking up the gold here. We are still 12 in the PLO. Well, this has been hand for hand now for ages.
Yeah, Wayne said I had to have a shave waiting for this bubble to burst.
Yeah. It's absolutely ridiculous. Tom is now third in chips.
That's all right.
But again, it's so shallow. They're down to an average stack of 11.5 bigs now in this PLO.
Can you imagine if Tom finished fourth, Leigh? Oh, or even better if he finished second or won the thing and we had to disqualify him because we made up a rule, like around now that, he can't play. Maybe we should do that. Maybe we should spend a few minutes to do that.
Fourth would be amusing. For a 10.5-hour flight to Vegas, I would find it very amusing for that journey. However, if he does pick up a medal, I know what's going to happen. We're going to go through security, and he's going to set off the medal. And he's going, did I forgot to take my medal out?
Yeah.
Oh,
no, not out. He'll pull it out from his shirt. He'll be on a chain.
Yeah. So,
be like a Vegas medallion from the 70s.
I think my APAT medal set off the metal detector. Yeah. We know what's going to happen.
To be honest, I'm not sure there's enough metal in there to do that.
It'll be his new card guard for Vegas, is what it'll be. Yeah. Literally
fantastic.
Pops it out on the table. Bang. Yeah. Right,
Fantastic.
guys, I'm here to play. Yeah.
Simon says, can I present the medal to him if he gets there?
Yes, very much so. Yes.
Somebody's going to have to do it.
That is going to be the case. He's back to back to second in the chips, but so we've not lost. I mean, some of these guys here are down to the short stacks here are playing 2.7 and 2.8 big. So 2.7 is Joe, and 2.8 is Chris.
Wow.
So someone's gonna bust there in a minute. It's got to happen. Joe's actually in the small blind at the moment, and Chris is in the big blind. They're right next to each other on Tom's table. So I am keeping an eye on it. And to be fair, you don't want the bubble to burst if you're trying to, but no one's actually building a huge stack in all of this. That's what's really weird. Naz gets there on the turn, turns straight, and so now it's pretty much even stack with Leigh. Leigh says nice hand. There's this nothing between these three. I really couldn't call this now between any of these guys. And on the basis you called for Leigh, I said I thought if we got five-handed, Naz would win it. Yeah. So maybe it'll be Guy. Yeah, maybe that's what it'll be.
Equally as good a chance, no question.
So Joe's all in the PLO. He's got to get called by at least one, if not two players. He's going to get called by two. This could be the money bubble going. Let me see if I can get across to that table for you. Just making sure nothing's happening in this one. I don't think it's going to. Guys raised it. I don't think Naz is going to play it back. So
there we go.
Joe is Sharky. Needs an 8 or a 6. Not going to get it.
Lucky
so
Joe.
I think that's going to be the bubble. Yeah, I think that's going to be the bubble burst in the PLO.
Hold on to you guys for cashing.
There we go. So well done to all of you. You're all in the money, picking up $42. $350 up top though, Des, for that one. Right, we'll get back to the medals in the No Limit Hold'em for the time being.
So he says, "Come on, Naz."
So Guy puts a little half pot bet out here on the third diamonds hit, and of course it's a straight option as well. Naz has called it though, so Guy's only got a pot size bet behind. Is he going to low ball it again, or is he just going to fire it in? He's checked it. I would say I had a feeling Naz would check behind. And Naz is going to be good. I'm not sure even if Guy had decided to fire the rest of the clip there, whether he'd have... I think Naz might have been calling with the 9s there. And straight away in the PLO now we've got a 3-way all in, which I think is going to scoop mostly for Tom. Tom's turned the full house.
Wow.
And he's rivered quads.
So he's knocking 2 of them out.
He's going to bust
right?
2
no,
of them.
There's a side pot.
Yeah. No, he's going to scoop the lot, I think. Yeah, he's scooping it all, busting 2 players. And Tom's going to go chip leader again when you river quads. Simple as that. So very quickly we're down to 9 now in that, which was inevitable because their average stack is still only 12 bigs in the PLO. So Kings versus Ace Jack. Here we go then. Here we go. Guy needs to avoid an ace or a 4 for a double up. Ace or a 4. Needs to avoid
no
it.
hearts.
And does.
Oof.
So Guy's going to get a double up through Naz.
Wow. I tell you what. You're right about the structures here, Leigh. These have been fun to watch tonight.
And Tom's just doubled up Andrew Jones rhubarb in the PLO. So as quickly as he wins some chips, he gives them away.
It's that type of game, isn't it?
Yeah, it is going to be that way. Yeah. No, structure-wise, I think this is, it mirrors our live events, and I think it's absolutely spot on for Friday night and Saturday night. Say both of these will be done by sort of, 1 o'clock-ish, which I think is perfect. You don't want to be playing into the early hours of the morning too much, really. Although these guys, it is fascinating watching this final three in the No Limit Hold'em, because they're all proper APATers. So therefore, we know that it does kind of matter to them, the medals a little bit as well as the prize money, but they want the title that goes with it. Tom is imploding in the PLO. He's doubled up Andrew Jones again, and is now going to be the short stack in the PLO with 8 remaining, I think.
Oh, Tom. That saddens me, because I know he was really sort of up for this. In other really tough news, Leigh, Rocky apparently has won. Well done, the B man.
So we've lost Naz, and that was, I suppose, after Guy with the Kings. It's just unfortunately.
And there you go, Leigh. Just as you called it, Guy is chip leader, heads up.
Yeah, so good luck to them both, Guy and Leigh. And we've got our final table in the PLO. Wayne has made it. Andrew Jones, two double ups through Tom, has gone to chip leader. That's how shallow that was.
Has Tom made it?
Tom is on the final table. Yeah. We've lost one already, so we're down to 7. As soon as this heads up goes, I will flick across to that, and we'll watch that play to its conclusion. Let's see what Guy can do with this sort of not quite a 2-to-1 chip lead, but he's shoving it all in. What's Leigh going to do? I'd already made it 4.2 bigs on the river, and he's called it. Oh, and it's the nut flush against the second nut flush.
Wow.
What? Heads up.
Wow.
Goodness me. And that gives Leigh a huge chip lead now of nearly 4-to-1. Okay, let's see if Leigh can
far from done.
See this out. Yeah, very much so. Very much so. Guys all in. Leigh's going to make the call. It's ace-6 for Leigh. It's pocket 9s for Guy. Needs to avoid an ace. Just needs to avoid the ace, and it'll be a double up for Guy. These are sick hands, aren't they? Heads up.
Oh, it's red.
Me.
10. Wow.
And I think we're going to lose Tom. Yeah, we're going to lose Tom. Got it in. We got it into a good spot, and actually ended up losing to trip 4s.
Bloody decent effort, though.
In second. Yeah.
Well done, Tom.
So Tom finishes in 7th place for $88 in the PLO. So very well done to you, Tom. Super impressive performance.
Yeah. Chris out 9th. Fun to play.
If he'd only registered for the top 10 leaderboard, he'd have got himself some added value as well. If he'd only registered. Did he not know about it?
I don't know, Leigh. He might not have read the internal memos that were going around.
Oh, he's missed an opportunity there. He really
well done,
has.
Naz. Great run tonight.
Yeah, superb effort, Naz, picking up the bronze medal. Very well done to you. So Nosy P, Wayne Parker, England captain, is still in the PLO with 6 left. As is Andrew Rhubarb Jones.
Naz says
and
back to
I'm
back.
going to guess that. Yeah, back-to-back Kings will do you every time. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Although it hasn't hurt the French, Leigh, just saying.
Well, it's true. I'm going to guess Rickard from the Netherlands might be one of our Dutch players as well. I'm not sure. they're not registered up a username, but I'm going to guess it probably will be. And this has gone leveled out again now because Guy's going to win that pot, and they are pretty much going to be even stacks. Yeah, about 20 bigs each.
Well, they're getting it in, Leigh, so it's not going to take too long here.
Yeah, I mean, it is quite shallow now. At 20 bigs, heads up. Yeah, it doesn't go much lower than this heads up before you're just going to get your chips in.
Joe says bubbled the PLO. Unfortunately, good luck to everyone. We were watching, Joe. Bad luck.
Yeah, very unfortunate, Joe. You
luck.
you were down to pretty much a micro stack there, really, and needed to get a little bit of luck to get back in the game, and wasn't to be. So we will do a show tomorrow night. We'll follow the action from the what I'm assuming, Des, is going to be the final Road to Vegas Sats. I'm assuming. I can't believe they're going to run them more than.
Well, when does the?
I mean, there is
start?
one more Sunday. There is one more Sunday. It doesn't start until the 4th of July or 3rd of July, I think it is. Yeah, Monday the 3rd. So they have got a couple more Sundays, but I guess at some point they've got to draw a line on people being able to make plans to get there or whatever. So it seems a little bit crazy to put them on. But they've now got 552 players sat in their main event qualifiers and direct buy-ins, and obviously their target was 600. And I don't think that includes the ones that they get from Club GG as well. So I'm guessing they've done that number.
Yeah, they've done well, Leigh. And I bet there's some super interesting names in there. I bet there's some big.
Yeah, and everybody seems super confident that the main event is going to break all records this year. And the numbers that are being done in other series events at the moment would suggest that there is an appetite there.
We've got a comment from Wayne, and unless he's become a pirate immediately, I suspect.
No, he's not. He's just bust the PLO in 6th place. He's picked up $111 though for his trouble. I guess he might be a little bit hard because I didn't catch their hand because I was just looking at the other screen at the time. But there were a couple of players that were shorter than him stack wise, so I don't know whether it's an element of just it didn't run well for him, and maybe could have landed up another couple of places maybe, or
well, nobody likes losing, Leigh. Nobody likes losing, especially these guys.
He just is going to hate us. He really is. He really is going to hate us. So we're down to 5 in the PLO. I think that now might be. Oh no, crikey! The short stack has just doubled up. It had 2 bigs, 2.4 bigs, and has managed to find a double up Eclipse from Montenegro.
Well, night to Naz.
Well done, Naz.
One outer.
Great effort. Yeah.
Ouch.
Oh wow.
Ouch. One outer, Leigh.
Yeah, it's unfortunately you do see it quite a lot. I think probably just due to the volume of hands that you see online. Our short stack in the PLO has got it all in against Rhubarb against Andrew Jones, the chip leader. And Andrew is going to win that one with 2 pair, which means they're down to 4 now. With Andrew got pretty much half the chips in play, 4-handed. Meanwhile, Leigh and Guy are fairly evenly splitting the chips in play here.
This is as tight as the judiciary in the States with Trump's legal team, Leigh. There's no end in sight.
No, absolutely. 3-way pot in the PLO with the other short stack, so we might be busting another player here.
That's going quickly, Leigh. Much more
Yeah,
quickly than
it
I'd
is.
have expected for a final table.
Yeah, we're going to bust another one there because it's going to be 2 pair versus pair of queens in the hand for Athlon. So we've got our medalists in PLO as well. So it's going to be it's Rhubarb Jones, Andrew Jones, who's the chip leader, Cyrus Pace from Austria, who's second in chips, and Rickert from the Netherlands in third. So well done to you guys. You're all going to pick up a medal. We'll find out what colour that's going to be once we've concluded. Well, the way it's going, it could be that one finishes before this heads up does.
Yeah, this is good though. Absolutely no.
Yeah, it's well. This is enjoyable play. It's not as if it's a case they're just literally folding to each other in this this heads up, Leigh and Guy. Far from it. It's been nice little low ball kind of bets and trying to get some value, and yeah, it's good to watch. And as I say, I think both of these are going to be done comfortably before the next break in 20 minutes. We will then be done for the night. But we are back tomorrow night. APAT Show will be back for our usual Sunday night slot. And we'll follow a little bit of the Road to Vegas sats and have a general catch up on what's going on in the world. Need to find a guest though, Des. I do need to do that. So we'll find someone to come on. To be honest, Dan did message me, so so it might well be that if Dan's available tomorrow night, as he couldn't make it tonight, I'll see if he wants to reschedule for tomorrow night instead, and we'll get our world champ on to talk about the world champ schedule. Would be nice.
Similarly, if there's any of you guys out there through the summer would like to come and join us for a night on the APAT Show, there's a lot of you still watching despite the hour. Just let us know. Come and
yeah,
join.
I mean, we've got to say that we've got a couple of so I don't know whether I mentioned it, but I'm out the country in a few weeks' time, Des. I don't know whether we haven't discussed a plan for that yet.
Anywhere nice? Spain, maybe?
Yeah, just hopping across the water for a break.
Chips, Leigh? Any chips?
Yeah, there will be chips. There definitely will be chips. I think we've lost Rickard in third place, so we're heads up in the PLO as well.
Unbelievable how quickly that's gone.
Yeah, but they're much more stacked. So Andrew Jones has got 55 bigs, and Cyrus Pace has got 30 bigs. So they're well stacked over there. As they're playing that out. But yes, so it does mean I will try and dial in if possible, if timings work, and I can show you a bit of what's going on in Vegas for the two Sundays that I'm there. But if anybody wants to get involved in the show with Des for those couple of weeks, you are more than welcome to just get in contact and let us know.
I bet when you come back, Leigh, the branding will have changed. It'll become the football show. Overlays.
I know what happened.
It'll be. I'll have taken over.
I'll have taken over. Steve Forte's in the chat saying I could be available if the price is right. Well, I can 100% tell you the price won't be right.
No, Steve. On the contrary, if you slide us 20 or 30 each a piece, right, we'll get you on.
That's thousands, yeah.
Come on, we got it. I'll be happy to get Steve on. I mean, the last time it was hilarious. Can you hear me? And that was me. That was me.
Yeah. Can you hear me? Guy rivers the straight there, and with all those clubs on the board, it's a bit nervous, but he does get it through. So we've moved up a level here now, and so
they're still
blinds
tight.
now. Instead of them both having 20 bigs, they've now both got 16 bigs. Yeah, so that's the way we're going with this. If we do have an all-in a call on the PLO, I will jump across to that table so you can see what's going on. But we have got that one on the go there, which is there you go. That's the two players in the PLO.
If anyone out there is partial to epileptic fits, we apologize in advance for creating a dangerous situation for you.
Oh, it's just flicking between tables. It's all action. can't be any worse than when I'm on a mobile camera and we're going around a card room. Honestly, that's more seasick. That's more seasickness than anything else.
Takes you back to those great days of Challenge Annika.
Yeah. Okay.
Only I try to keep the camera a lot higher on you, Leigh, I have to say.
Yeah. I was going to say, does that mean we're going to get APAT jumpsuits and a helicopter? Excellent.
Nice.
That's what we need. She made a comeback, didn't she, with that show, and then it got dropped or something. It wasn't. I don't think it was very popular.
That one?
Yeah.
Was it?
The Challenge Annika one, I think. Yeah, I think she did it on Channel 5 or something. I think it was. So
she's probably out there tweeting these days, or similar. Although look at Tucker. Look what Tucker's doing on Twitter, Leigh. Tucker Carlson, right? So
yes, since he's been dropped, yeah,
got exited at Fox, and now he's getting like 60+ million views per video on the Twitter. Yeah. Amazing.
Is he on Spaces? Is that what he's doing?
No, he's
just straight vids.
Yeah, okay. He's doing amazingly well.
Well, I don't know. Does people watching what you do mean it's amazingly well? I don't really know.
Well,
I suppose it must tick some boxes. So
if you put the video out there, one assumes that it's views that you're after, right?
Yeah. I kind of feel with this guy and Leigh here, we're just waiting for kind of two hands to kind of sort of just to connect a little bit. It might not be for all the chips, but at the moment it is just that they're just checking it down or trying to win a pot with a little bet because there's nothing else really going. So we haven't really seen anything where they both kind of hit a flop. It's worth playing. So therefore the chips are just moving back and forth a little bit here at the moment. But they're certainly seeing some cards. But then you get check.
Yeah. Steve says he'd have to wear his new Wrexham shirt, which has United on it, because they've moved to United Airlines now as their sponsor from TikTok, right? So,
oh really? Have they? Okay,
it's insane.
It's going to be fascinating to see where they go. All in the call on the PLO.
Here we go. Showtime. Blimey.
And Cyrus Pace is going to be good with the kings in the hand, so it's going to double through, which is going to give them a massive chip lead over Andrew now. Andrew's going to have a bit of work to do to get that back. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what Wrexham do, because obviously we all know where Salford went when they got promoted, and feeling that everyone thought, well, they're just going to shoot up the league, and it just hasn't happened. It'll be interesting to see what Wrexham. I've just finished binge watching Welcome to Wrexham, as I've signed up to Disney Plus for a month, and yeah, thoroughly enjoyed it. And obviously we all know what happens with season 2. For those that know the story of Wrexham this year, I'm assuming they're putting more of the documentary out at some point. I presume.
Yeah. Season 2's been signed off.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see
series, right? 17 or 18 episodes.
Yeah, but I thought it was very well done. Really, entertaining. So as well as giving you an idea of what goes on at the club, I thought it was superbly entertaining.
And you saw there was a period there in that first season where Parkinson was under pressure, for example. You could
massively,
properly under pressure. And look at him now; he's a god. Football is.
But it will be interesting. It will be interesting to see, because you kind of go, right, so if they can't then get from League 2 to League 1 in the next couple of seasons, then they'll start asking questions again, won't they? So that's where Salford are at now. What do they do? Yeah.
But I think I think Parkinson's a better manager than any of the jokers that went in and managed Salford. I think he comes across quite well. I think he's obviously a senior guy. There's a lot of money to be had there. There's a huge support, which maybe Salford didn't have. Wrexham is just a far bigger club than Salford.
Yeah.
So you're right. Results will be pivotal, but you give them a chance. 2 seasons to get out of this league. I think you'd give them a chance.
Yeah,
but they're going to have to get lucky at the same time, right? If you have to come through a playoffs, you've got to get lucky.
But obviously but it's easier to actually get out of League Two than it is. I mean, they do say that the National League is the toughest one to get out of because it is literally one team coming up and then a bunch of teams in a playoff. So it is the toughest one to do. Whereas is it 4 go up? Three automatically and one in the playoffs.
Oh, I didn't know
it
was
is
that Rich. Wow.
I think it's 4 go up from League Two. Somebody I'm sure somebody will confirm.
Give them a semi-decent chance. Because I'd be tempted to
well,
think that.
It's definitely 3, but I thought it was 4 still. But
things are getting a bit serious here for Leigh Wyatt.
Yeah, he's all in.
Here we go. Jack 6-10.
Is Guy going to be able to find a call here? No, he's not.
But Guy has created a little gap there.
Yeah, he's got a 2-1 chip lead here now. But as we said before, Leigh one double up the other win. Leigh wins a hand and it goes back the other way. So it's still So Wayne's saying correct, 3 up and 1 playoff. So so you've got a little bit of wiggle room in League Two.
Steve says, did you love season 3 of Ted Lasso? I got to say, I really enjoyed the first 2 seasons. I haven't watched season 3 of Ted Lasso yet, so I will get to it.
Excellent.
But did enjoy the first 2.
Very, very good. I do say to anybody, you don't need to enjoy football to enjoy Ted Lasso. Yeah. It's on so many levels. It's very, very good.
And I can't think of her name now. You'll say it and I'll know, but the chairwoman? The actress.
Hannah Waddington.
Yes. She was the shame nun in Game of Thrones.
She also hosted Eurovision, which I thought she was brilliant at.
Fantastic.
She was absolutely fantastic at that. Yeah. She's done a lot of stage work and a lot of work and has kind of come into kind of screen stuff a little bit later in her career. But yeah, very, very good.
And a very good toy maker as well, by all accounts.
Leigh's all in. Is Guy going to find a call this time? Don't think he is.
Well, I tell you, 16 blinds here. Guy's right back. Leigh's right back in it if Guy doesn't find a call.
Yeah. The trouble is, it's difficult for guys. If he makes the call, obviously he can make the call because of the chip stat that he's got. But he then puts Leigh into the chip lead, whereas now they're kind of evens again.
Yeah, it's disciplined, isn't it?
Yeah. Andrew Jones is still fighting his corner in the PLO. He's still up against a sort of 4-1 chip deficit, but he's not giving up in this PLO heads up as well. So I'm keeping an eye on that one as well. And this is starting to hurt now. Leigh and Guy, average stack is 13 bigs between the two of them. They sort of started this heads up and it was about 20. I think it was a bit more than 20 does. So yeah, it is getting all in call in the PLO.
Here we go.
See if I can get over there. I'm very wary that there's a hand going on there as well, but let me shoot over to that one as well.
Oh, that's it.
That's it. Aces are looking good. I think aces are going to hold there. They are. Unlucky. Yeah. So Cyrus Pace is going to win the PLO, picking up $354. And well played to Andrew Jones. Rhubarb picks up $281. Very well done to him. So there you go. The PLO finishes before the No Limit Hold'em. Started an hour later, but it's done. So let's see how this plays out. I mean, this is
down to 12.
This is going to be anytime soon, isn't it? Here, yeah, this is going to be anytime soon. When they're checking down to showdown there, and 10 deuce is scooping. Yeah,
there's nothing in this.
Yeah, I mean, it is going to be a case of which one of the two takes this down. You'll have to say, yeah, will have deserved it. It's and it wouldn't really matter which one of them it is.
Leigh, did you see that Man United's Martin Tyler has retired?
Man United's Martin Tyler, yeah, very good, yeah, 33 years at Sky, was it?
Yeah,
phenomenal. Pretty much the voice of the Premier League. and was there for some of the biggest moments of its life, I guess. And yeah, be a bit of a strange one with him not there. I mean, I've when I copy across the our show stream into the group, I always just go with "and we're live," which is a little bit of a take on his and with a take on it and it's live that he always used to say. So, but he's not completely retiring, so I understand. So I'm assuming he might. He's going to either, whether it'll still be TV stuff or whether he's going to do a little bit of radio or something like that. Motsy did that, didn't he? John Motson did that. Went and did a bit of radio for a little while.
Like a run at BN Sports or something.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, there are. You forget how many platforms are out there that are showing, whether it's the Premier League or the Champions League, whatever it is, on a weekly basis. Yeah.
But although you might not necessarily have been, aware of it or have seen it, Tyler was being used by the American stations for Euro Championships and stuff like that. So
behind the scenes,
you stuff wouldn't even going on elsewhere.
Who's going to take over as main commentator for Sky? Have they said
commentator? Don't know. Don't know. But I'm sure there must be plenty of candidates
because they've lost a few because Jeff Stelling's gone.
Yeah. Well, that'd be the seat that I'd be most interested in seeing who takes over, because I think that's a difficult one to, the banter there and stuff like that. It's very important to that show.
A few have done it when they've needed to slot in and support. And it is surprising how it can be done. I do like. I think Jules has done a very good job on BT Sport. Jules Breach.
And Laura Woods has taken.
Laura Woods is
Jake's role, right? Jake Humphrey.
But now interestingly, Laura Woods has stepped down
TalkSport
from TalkSport Breakfast.
Yeah, because she's going to BT.
On a permanent basis.
Yeah, she's taken up Jake Humphrey's role, as I understand it. So she'll do Champions.
Well, no, but he'd already stepped down. He'd already stepped down. No, he'd already stepped down this season before.
Well, what's he stepped down from then?
He stopped doing the Premier League. He stopped doing their Premier League coverage a year ago.
But was he still doing Champions?
There's another female presenter that does it, and I can't think who it is. No, Lineker was doing Champions League, wasn't he? Or did he step down from that? Maybe he stepped down from that as well. Maybe Jake Humphries is doing Champions League.
But I'm sure I read over the last week or so about Humphrey being, full of himself for his last game with BT Sport. So what was he?
Oh, maybe it's the Champions League game that he stepped down from, which would make sense. But he stepped down from the Premier League a year ago. And he's obviously now stepped down from Champions League as well. So
that might. So I figure she must be going off to do that. I mean, it's a great, opportunity. Albeit they're rebranding as TNT Sports.
Yeah, so pretty much happens in a couple of weeks' time. Yeah.
So Wayne says, "Been great watching you guys tonight. Now I know how to play PLO. Cannot wait for DTD. Come on, England. Good lad. Thank you, Wayne.
Excellent stuff. Well, shame we couldn't show very much of the PLO tonight, but it was ram-packed with APAT regulars playing it. So hopefully you all enjoyed that, and well done to those that cashed. Have either picked up the added value $55 tickets, or went on to medal. We're just deciding who's going to pick up this gold and silver.
Well,
here, Guy firing out it's another little bet on the river that Leigh decides don't want to call down. So Leigh's got the chip lead here now, nearly 2-1 chip lead, but it's so shallow. It's I'm quite surprised the cards haven't fallen yet that we've had all the chips go in, but I'm not surprised because the way the guys have been playing, I think is perfectly understandable. Guy makes the shove pre there, gets that through, and I guess it's aggression here now that's gonna see this out. And still couldn't call it, Des. It's impossible to say who's going to
Well, as you rightly said, it'll be two big hands, and both believe they've got it. It's going to take something like that.
But I did say, these will both be done before the next break. Well, we are a minute away from the 5-2 break. It's going to happen pretty much I think after this hand, we might get one more in. No, we're going to go to the break at 5 to the hour. Oh, see, that's I take full responsibility, Des, for bocking the tournament finishing.
There you go, Leigh. Go to the loo. Go on,
Yeah,
run.
No, we're good. We're good. But how on earth? Yeah, crikey, are we still going? Do I need to? I need to change the date. It's not even the Saturday the 17th anymore. Honestly,
I'd leave it, Leigh. I think you're fine.
Yeah,
I think you're fine. Official records will be fine.
Yeah,
with that.
We
My
will
computer
be good.
has
So
closed down.
yeah. So let me just, for anybody that's still hanging around waiting to find out who's going to win this between Leigh and Guy, don't forget, say APAT Show will be back tomorrow night for our usual Sunday night slot, and also don't forget that on Monday is the start of our new weekly leaderboards. So if you want to get involved in those, it is called the APAT Top 10. It is all around the 10 tournaments that we're running Monday to Friday. So 2 tournaments a night. They're $10 each to play. Lots of different variants: no limit hold'em, PLO, short deck, bounty tournaments, 6 max, 8 max, and all the different mixtures of that. Basically, finish in the top 10 of any of those, and you'll pick up some leaderboard points. Goes from 1 point for 10th right up to 25 points for winning it. So like Grand Prix style. And then if at the end of the week, after the 10 tournaments, you are in the top 10 of the leaderboard, we will turn your points into $T. Simple as that. GG Poker will transfer whatever points you've earned into $T to boost your bankroll. And to celebrate it starting next week, they're going to change everybody's points into $T. So it doesn't matter whether you pick up 1 point or you manage to pick up 100 points, they will change everybody's points into $T next week to get it started. If you want to get involved, all we need to know from you is your screen name. That's all we need. Just your GG Poker screen name. So that as you can see, Leigh is there as LPGN, Guy is there as Gullen Z. That's all we need to know from you. Pop it into the thread in the Facebook group. You'll see a long thread there with about 100 and so odd players that have already done exactly the same. We'll then add you to the list, and then we do the rest. Nothing you need to worry about. You just need to rock up and play whenever you want to get involved. You don't need to play all of them. It's not a case of I need to play all 10 or anything like that.
Grab the value.
So there we go. Whilst we're on a break, I've booked us a guest for tomorrow night.
Already, Leigh? How'd you manage that?
Because I am this good.
Who have you got then?
I'm just saying a thank you and all confirmed. Right, strap yourself in, Des. Tomorrow night we are going to have the one, the only DJ Big Club, Simon Brooke.
No way.
Is going to be
Traveller returns. Night. Love it. Brilliant. Awesome. And Steve comes in with I am free, but looks like it's done.
Been gazumped. Sorry, Steve, you've been absolutely gazumped. Yeah, and we'll have loads to talk to Simon about. Obviously, back from Vegas, so we'll find out about his trip. We've been wanting to talk to him for a while about the amazing charity that he's heavily involved in. So yes. we'll do that as well. And we know Simon is a massive supporter of all of the mixed games that we do at the World Championships. So say tomorrow night, we're going to be hopefully confirming the final schedule for the World Championships as well. So we can get his take on that. So how good will that be?
Going to be
Simon
an absolute
Brooke
fabulous
on the show. And I'll be honest, if you were worried that Paul might have offended people at home,
oh yeah,
Simon's got a really good track record.
He's got a great repertoire
of that. So yeah. So that's absolutely superb. So thank you very much, Simon. He just messaged me now and said, he's about and would love to do that. So we're booked up and we'll get Simon on the show tomorrow night. Fantastic.
Nice. Eddie
we
says,
can talk all things Bristol City as well. Yeah. So
oh God, not football. We've moved away from football, Leigh. Tell him. Eddie's on the YouTube, and Guy says, sorry guys, don't be sorry, Guy. This is great. We're loving it.
Yeah, don't be sorry at all. You're playing for a gold medal here, Guy. You play it out as you need to play it out, my friend. Don't regret anything. You just got to see it through, and the difference is nothing. So Leigh's got 16 bigs, Guy's got 10 bigs. This is very much anybody's. Well, when I say anybody's one of these two guys, Des.
Yeah, it's not Naz. Naz is done. It can't be.
It's not going to be Naz. And we can say that about Naz now because he's gone to bed. So it's okay. We can get away with that one. Here we go then. First one back after the break. How long do you reckon it's going to be? This is going to be. I dare say a time. Well, Guy's not hanging about. He says I'm sorry, but he shoved all his chips in first hand after the break. Lee's going to call. Here we go. Pocket fours, really? Pocket sevens.
Wow. What?
Guy needs a 4 or it's going to be over. 4 and only a 4. There's only 2 in the deck. Oh, ace or a king would chop it.
That's it. It's done.
And that's going to be that. Well, there you go. First hand back after the break. Des called this, guys. 8 players out. Des said Leigh Wyatt was going to win this for the Hammers, and he has gone and done that. You can see on the screen there how much he's picked up. He's picked up $521.
That's brilliant.
And 9 of your US cents. Very well done to him. Superb performance from Guy Gullen.
And a great payday for Guy as well, right?
Yeah, Guy picks up just shy of $400, and obviously Naz finishing third to match his side event third in Edinburgh last week, and he picks up $305 for that. That was a great final table and a superb heads up, I thought. And yeah, very well done to you guys. And we'll get the results posted up and sort out getting some medals to you all. So very well done indeed.
Awesome. Well done, guys. Thank you for playing tonight and last night. Thank you for sticking with us through the stream. It makes it fun when there's that engagement and interaction with yourselves. We're back next weekend. Sounds like we're gonna next weekend. We're back tomorrow night, right? We're back tomorrow night, 10 o'clock. Sounds like it's going to be a cracker. Simon Brooks is on. We're going to be talking about the WC.
That isn't Simon Brooke, by the way. That's not Simon Brooke.
That's not Simon,
a picture of Simon. That's
although,
not Simon.
Although at a certain angle, no.
Well, yeah,
far too short. Far too short.
Yeah, definitely not.
So it sounds like it's going to be
and he's smiling anyway. So that's
And he's cute. It's very cute. But he's got grey hair, looking slightly older than Simon.
Yeah. But anyway.
Corker tomorrow night. So join us 10 p.m. usual spot. Looking forward to it. Until then, have a great Sunday. Night, guys.